You're about to witness a seismic event.
Talk Brunch, where the geeks
are all baby faces.
Now, let the party begin. Live. Start the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Lasers. Here we go.
What's up, fellow brunchers? Welcome to Talk Brunch Live. It is November 6th, 2017. I'm your host, as always, Rick Dara, aka Captain Brunch, and this is episode 213. With me, as always, is the elite panel, starting with the one, the only Kid Human himself.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed last week's show, but we started a new year, building up towards the next, and here we go with a hell of a show.
Indeed. And in the seat over, we have the Padawan, Jen herself.
How's it going, everybody? And if you didn't get to see Power Struggle, holy shit, hopefully I'll be able to cover it for you later tonight.
Absolutely. And in the last seat, joining us in radio quality, Ms. Bianca.
Hello, cheerio, live from Manchester. No, I'm not. I'm in my basement here in Canada.
Good place to be.
You have basements in Canada?
We sure do.
Isn't it like 12 degrees colder, like below freezing?
Oh, God.
I'm in a snowsuit.
Shout out to the chat room, AC Living Legend, Haxel Lou Reed, EB Gamer, Blonde Shell, Jordan, Towel Gap Boy, and also over on our Vodcast chat room,
we have Moneyman 907 8K and same old Mikey. What's going on, fellas? Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Yes, it's great to be here on a regular episode. That's what makes this episode so special, that it's not special. It's not a post-pay-per-view. It's not a Halloween. It's not no freaking copyright music. Just regular old episode, you know? We really get to do this too often.
Just let it all hang out tonight. Just relax and chill.
Good old-fashioned talk brunch.
Yeah, we just get to run some dirt sheets and find out what the hell's been going on in this crazy world that we know as the wrestling universe. Oh, man. So, first we're going to talk about things going on the old website from this past week. We have, of course, up our Tuesday game vodcast, Jackbox. This was Party Pack 3. And this had Trivia Murder Party and Guespionage, Quiplash 2. And it was with myself, Padawan Jen, Destin, Kid Human, and Jordan Worth Cobb. And I think this was my favorite Trivia Murder Party, not just because I won at the end, like, because I know people are going to look at it, go and look and go, oh, it's because he won it, because of the clinch that it was, like, the whole time. You know, like, it was one of those where you didn't know who was going to win until the very last minute. And we haven't had one of those since the first Trivia Murder Party. So
yeah,
I really
we were definitely
did
neck and neck going out that door.
Yeah,
oh, yes.
Yeah. That was a fun one. Really fun. And Guespionage, we put that back into rotation. That was pretty cool, too. And, of course, Quiplash. So that's all up there. Check that out. And on Saturday, there was a UFC 217 Bisping versus St. Pierre post show hosted by Destin and co-hosted by Scott. And they went over the 3 big title fights from Saturday night's pay-per-view. Which, yeah, you guys were awesome on there. And, you were able to hold it together through all the shock of the fact that it was a night of upsets.
Upsets? Well, I guess we'll discuss some of that in a little bit, you know. Yeah,
maybe because, again, you guys have it on YouTube if you want to go there and hear about that. I didn't really say anything. The one thing I'll say is seeing Yep J-Check, that was rough. Like, this is, again, it's like Ronda all over again, because this was another, girl that was amazing. And then someone even more amazing. The women divisions in MMA are really frightening, because it almost reminds me of like when you watch, when you read a comic book or watch an anime where there's always a stronger character the next season than the previous one. Like that girl's punches and her strikes overall. It's like I've never seen someone hit that hard. And I was just saying that about Joanna, and before that I was saying it about Ronda.
Yep, but, and then along come Nunez and Thug Rose.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe how hard she was hitting. Yeah.
But who do you think hits harder, her and Nunez?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's very frightening. Becoming a dangerous world. Ronda made a good move. Stay over here where you take a pinfall.
Yeah.
It's like those girls are like powered up now.
Yeah. They hit Super Saiyan 2 over there in MMA, and she hasn't learned how to control her energy yet.
Yeah, it happens in everything. Like if you look at baseball, like 10, 20, even 30 years ago, or basketball, and then you look at the athletes today, it's just so different. Yeah. And now the girls in MMA are going through that, where like, look at what they are. Like, shit.
I mean, 20 years ago, we were going crazy for Ali's daughter in the boxing ring, and now look at where they come to.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, go check that out on our YouTube exclusive. You'll find it on the website also, because everything's posted up there. And we also had our Sunday adventure game night, which kicked off with Game of Thrones Telltale number 6, The Ice Dragon, hosted by myself, Padawan Jen, Destin, and Scott. And any thoughts?
In typical Game of Thrones fashion, people died.
Yeah, whew, that was intense. Holy shit, man. Whew.
We lost a lot of characters. I'm gonna have to go and look and see if there was another thing afterwards, like if there's an alternative route or something on YouTube. Like, is that the only way it can turn out?
I don't know. I guess we could go back and, like, at the end of episode 5, choose someone different, choose the opposite guy to sacrifice.
I don't think that would change too much. I'm just wondering if there's a way, like Mira. I'm wondering specifically about her situation. That was her name, right?
Yeah, Mira.
Yes.
Yeah, Mira and Sarah.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm wondering specifically about her situation, like if that had to turn out that way. Because, I don't know. I mean, I guess I couldn't really see it going any other way, but that looked really bad.
I mean, like, the only other way is if she got married and forked everything over.
Yeah, to that one douchebag, so.
Which would have probably led to the same thing anyway. I have
her getting killed and he takes it by inheritance.
Yeah.
But let's check through YouTube,
Yeah. I'll look that up tomorrow, something during the week.
Yeah, for certain. But, and of course, I don't know. It was like, I guess we got the Game of Thrones effect, so maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Like, I feel like that shouldn't have happened. Sort of like when you watch the show or read the books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think every step is just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
I agree.
All roads lead to here. Sorry, it's a dug grave.
But they left it open because we know Telltale, they never leave anything on one season. They're going to follow this up. That's why they left characters alive, as a matter of fact.
Did we technically see her head hit the floor?
Oh, believe me, she's
yes.
Dead. She's dead.
Okay.
It's in King's Landing. Her head's over the guillotine. They gave her the Ned Stark.
Yeah, the block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the block. That's a great thing because
you know what that reminded me of?
What?
You'll get it. The Rock on 84th and 97th Avenue.
Oh, because it had a big block there. The block.
Yeah,
that's great.
That bit.
I like how they call it a block. They missed the opportunity. There's a really cool moment in the books that they didn't do it the same in the show. Minor spoiler, but when Jon Snow executes Janos Slint,
yes.
I'm sorry, Janos
yes.
Slint, because he's talking shit and he doesn't want to take him from the Lord Commander. So then they literally get up, put him out, and execute him. And in the books, he says before he does it, he says to Dolores Ed, he says, "Eddie, fetch me the block." And then they all walk out like that and then kill him. I just thought it was cool that was like the last you hear, "Eddie, fetch me the block." And I was like, oh shit, Jon Snow's really going to kill this fucking guy like right now.
That's awesome. Fetch me the block.
Eddie, fetch me the block. It was the same subtlety as in the show. We're like, man, 1 minute you guys were sitting over breakfast having a dispute. The next minute you were dead. You better watch your language around here.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen there. You could fart. Somebody don't like the smell of it and you're dead.
Exactly.
If it's the Lord Commander, apparently. But yeah, Slint had it coming for a long time. He was a scumbag. But that's another story. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the stuff that I would say check talkbrunch.com. Check all of our stuff. It's up there every single week. And coming up this week, tomorrow is another Tuesday game vodcast featuring Jackbox Party Pack 2. Games included are Fibbage 2, Quiplash XL, Earwax, and Bombcore, which we never really played. We played Earwax one time, and I think Jen liked it.
That's a drawing game. That's the sound effects game.
Yeah, that's the sound effects one, yes.
Yeah, that's the sound effects one.
I don't remember playing that one.
I don't know if you were there for that one.
No, maybe not.
Yes, I enjoyed the sound effects one.
Yeah, no, that was a while ago.
I'm looking forward to this then.
Yeah, so we'll bring that back. And we never tried Bombcore for no reason. I know it entails defusing a bomb, but we'll see how that is. So
cut the blue wire. The blue wire.
It looks like that in the thumbnail, literally. Like it looks like
they're all blue wires.
It'll be like the neutrino bomb from Rick and Morty, where he's like, there's a, what do you say that there's like a 60% chance that this is a dud. Then he goes to like defuse it. And Rick's like, Jesus, Morty, how many of these are you? Too many, Rick. Too many.
That part still makes me fucking laugh. Because as fast as he said it, you're like, oh shit.
Wow, how often do I get drunk and build these things?
Well, they've had hundreds of adventures, you gotta imagine, because think about the pass he has, that every 10 adventures he can opt out of one or something.
Oh, he gets to choose one.
He gets to choose one or something. Think about how many that must have been already then.
Yeah.
You know?
True, yeah.
And then Sunday, it's back to our adventure game night with Jen, myself, Destin, and Scott picking another Telltale's games to start. I don't know what it's going to be. I guess, Jen, you're going to do some research this upcoming weekend. Pick whichever one you want, really. Sky's the limit. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. There's The Wolf Among Us, which was really cool. I played through that once. There was, what else is there? Borderlands, I've never tried. There's Minecraft. There's The Walking Dead. There's 3 Walking Dead series, 3 seasons, as well as the Michonne season. Yep. So there's a lot of Walking Dead. Yeah, so we'll get that sorted, but we'll definitely do something, because that's really been a blast. And lastly, the next time we bring you pay-per-view coverage is going to be on our anniversary weekend, starting November 18th with the NXT TakeOver War Games post-show immediately following that event. And then that Sunday Survivor Series, which we'll have a post-show right here immediately following as well. And then finally Monday is our anniversary special, where we're going to celebrate going into year 3. Don't forget that the chat room is always open and live, active during every Raw and SmackDown, and it's also going to be active during these big pay-per-view events, even the Saturday NXT show. Don't
forget the Friday night is the ROH pay-per-view.
Yeah, if you guys want to do something there, ROH, of course, I usually watch those live, so we'll do something.
You know what else happens on that Friday?
What's that?
The Punisher is released on Netflix.
Oh, yes. Almost forgot about that.
Oh, wow. That's one Friday, huh?
That's one hell of a fucking weekend. And then the anniversary show Monday night.
Yeah, so anniversary show, we'll be talking about Punisher, of course. And then we're going to talk about on the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, the NXT pay-per-view, and Survivor Series. What a weekend!
And you get to listen to it all for free.
Big weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's awesome. I keep forgetting Ring of Honor's there. That was the whole issue with Cody Rhodes, right?
Yep.
Which we, by the way, I don't know if you guys realize that we never really even talked about that on here. Like, that didn't come up. We might have spoke about it off the air, but the fact that Cody Rhodes took offense to the fact that they're putting their pay-per-view on at the same time as Ring of Honor, because apparently Ring of Honor booked it first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. But we did post it on our Facebook page for anyone that follows us there. If you don't, go check there. I'll put it in there for a second. But for anyone who didn't hear it, here it is again.
November 17th, Ring of Honor is coming to San...
Wait, we're not just coming, we're invading.
Oh, yeah, get me the stretch Hummer limousine again.
Good Lord, man, that costs a lot.
You know what? You can afford it. The company that I used to work for, they ignored all other companies. Right? And then, up until recently, something changed. Didn't you guys just get a cease and desist?
Don't remind me, jeez.
That's still so soon. And then they stole all my dad's ideas.
And you know what? They even stole my umbrella idea.
Oh, you know what? We had this date first. It almost seems like they are piggybacking off of the success of the Bullet Club. Wow. But, hey, fair play to them. We want everybody to come to our show. Come along.
Chop my song.
Including the McMahons, who we are offering free tickets, comp tickets to the McMahon family. Yes.
We don't paper the house.
No.
We don't want to give them a cut of our live percentage of the gate.
Of course not. Okay.
Jeez. What are you talking about?
So what do we do instead?
Tell you what. Let's give the McMahons 10% discount. With
That's
photo ID.
You heard it here. 10% discount for the McMahons, for anybody with McMahon on their ID. 10% discount at San Antonio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bullet Club invades San Antonio.
Hey,
no.
This guy
cameraman looks like he went to full sail. He's done. Oh!
So, yeah, the McMahons get in for a discount.
If my last name is McMahon, I'd be like, I get a discount, right? You said it.
Yep, and all the Bullet Club's going to be there, including Kenny Omega.
You're going to hook me up with that Skrull autograph, right?
I will do my best, swear to God, because he's supposed to be there, and the Bucks are supposed to be there, so we shall see.
What's up, Miss Marnie? I see she just joined us in the chat room out there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it was done directly. We've heard things about WWE doing that kind of stuff before, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, welcome Hero DB. What's up, buddy? Thanks for hanging out tonight. Sorry to see him here on a Monday. Guess he likes the show. Loves us that much.
Yeah.
Aww.
Well, why not? You know, hey, there's people who were here just for the wrestling that are now Walking Dead hardcore people, right?
Exactly.
Maybe it'll go the opposite way. Make a couple of wrestling fans out of people.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah.
By the way, I forgot to tell you, I picked up 99 Vitas.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's do a stream sometime. We'll do a live stream sometime this week.
Yeah, definitely. Since this weekend will be like the relaxation weekend before next weekend where it gets crazy and then it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so guys, just follow us on social media. We'll announce when we're going to do the stream of that. It's like a 4-player co-op. It's the best way to describe it.
It's kind of like you said, like the Ninja Turtles game mixed with Double Dragons. It's 4-player co-op, but it's street fighting type.
Your classic beat 'em up. Your classic beat 'em up game, yeah. So go through that, talk shit while we're playing it. You know how streams work.
Yeah.
It's not even really about the stream, but there's something to do. So yeah, sometime this week. We'll
excellent, Hero. Excellent.
Again, guys in this chat room, register in the other chat room because that's the one we use when we need video. If we need to do something with video. Yeah, we gotta jump in there. That's what it's for. All right. So before we get into any wrestling, did you guys want to briefly talk about Walking Dead? I don't feel like there was a lot to talk about. It was mainly the action, which,
I mean, we did call it. We did predict it.
Yeah, we'll talk briefly. We're not going to go too long. If anyone, cover your ears if you don't want spoilers, or just bump up a few minutes if you're on demand. But, yeah. We did call it with Morales last week. We had a conversation where we just basically spoke about the fact that they brought back Morales as a fan service because no one knew where he went. And we're going to take you back to that moment.
Friend, blink.
You want to know what I hope happens?
What?
Right in the beginning of the next episode, Daryl walks in and fucking crossbows onto the back of the
And that's the end of your Morales Easter egg, right?
Yeah,
Bye.
there you go.
Fuck you, Morales. You should have stayed gone. You'd have lived longer.
Dead. We're not HBO. We're not going to cater to you guys for a season for nothing. He's dead. There's your Morales.
Yeah.
And then I hope after that they make the Morales pop with the fucking arrow through his forehead.
Yes, I'll buy 3 of them.
There's your Morales pop with the... And we were right. That's exactly how it went down.
He talked to Rick for about 3 minutes, and then Rick said, "No, don't." He turned around and caught a crossbow to the head.
Yep.
That's what happens when you fuck with Rick's team. I have no sympathy. I'm completely 100%. I've been down with Tara. I've been down with Daryl. And now the new reborn Morgan that'll kill people. I'm down with everyone. I would be killing everyone. It's like, look, it's our team at this point. These guys have to die.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm totally down with that. Fuck this. Oh, we're going to give them the benefit. No, we're not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay. They're fucking assholes. Kill them all.
Oh yeah. I would have completely hosed them all down. Like 1,000,000%. Like they are not to be trusted. The saviors are evil. And even Jesus and his weird philosophies about things. It's like, you can't take these people prisoners. Not the way things are now. Not after everything that's happened. There's a reason it's war. If it wasn't war, that's one thing. If you're in a time of peace, it's completely unnecessary, but this is literally like, it's not even martial law. When you look at it, this is post-apocalyptic war. You have to fucking kill those guys.
Yeah, Jesus saves, everybody else kills. It's art imitating life, you know? This isn't biblical times. You gotta kill. I mean, everybody would have been dead. Look what they did.
Oh wow, same old Mikey joining us over in the other chat room. What's up, man? Hit that follow button. in both chat rooms. That's pretty funny.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, you got to take them out. You can't let them live. I mean, the more decrease their numbers. I mean, a bunch of them got away or, tried to get away and they were running. They wouldn't have come back. They weren't going to, they were just going to keep going. Morgan has the right idea. Take them all out.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm surprised. I mean, and then Gregory, man, what a douche. I really hate that guy.
That fucking asshole.
Yeah, he was begging at the gates of his own community because they don't want to let him in because he's swine. And they finally, of course, Maggie, he gets on her soft spot and he's like, you were right. And I was just scared. And they let him in. And, it's funny. It's just really weird. Of course, the actor is so good for Gregory because he's just like pulled straight out of the pages of the comic. He's such a sniveling scumbag, Like he does such a good job. He must be a fan or just read it through thoroughly because it's like he's just the same Gregory,
Or It's like when Courtney Love was in The People vs. Larry Flint, everybody's like, oh, she did such a great job acting. I'm like, she played a strung out whore. That's what she is in real life.
Ouch.
You know? I mean, maybe he's just a sniveling, whiny ass in real life, too.
Yeah, but what I mean is, and it goes for a lot of the casting of The Walking Dead, Rick aside, because Rick's a little bit different, but like it's one of those things where when you see the characters, you can just lose yourself in the character because they're the same character. It's like comparing it to my least favorite thing in the world, the DC cinematic universe, the Batman v Superman, all that shit. It's kind of hard to ever really see those characters as who they say they are. You know what I mean? Like, you can watch the entire 2 hours, and I still don't feel that those were those characters. Like, not an alternate universe, not an alternate reality, not a retelling. It doesn't feel like that's Batman. It doesn't feel like that's Superman. And that movie, that abomination, that fucking abortion they did, Suicide Squad, that didn't feel like Harley Quinn. That didn't feel like to me, it's like watching that movie, my suspension of disbelief never took me to the point where it was like, these are those characters. Where with The Walking Dead, if you've read the comic and you're watching the show, it still feels like they're them. You never really have to talk yourself into it being who they are because the casting's so well done. So I give them a lot of credit. But Gregory's top tier. Like Gregory, and of course Daryl's easy because there is no Daryl. They could do whatever the fuck they want with him, right?
Yeah.
He could be the hero forever.
And Ezekiel, I like him too.
Yeah, I like Ezekiel better in the show. That's a really good Ezekiel that we got there.
Yeah, they had a twist last night.
The Kingdom strategy was very well done. They did sort of a flanking thing there against the Saviors when they were using their little whistling strategy that they used the first time they caught Rick and the other Alexandria people out in the woods. So, but it was cool because Ezekiel was very optimistic about the entire, no man will die today. Like, what was that? What was it saying? Something like that. No one will fall. None of us.
Yes, we will. We will all stand.
Yeah, basically saying no one's gonna get killed in this, which they did like a really, really good job to some extent. But
they just didn't know what was happening at the end.
Yeah, you know exactly what happened. What was that? There was some sort of a turret, right? The guns.
Rick and Daryl were looking for 50 cal guns, 50 caliber guns. Those are usually the guns you'll find like on the back of a Jeep that are shooting in like war movies and stuff.
Yeah, they were looking for 2 of them, right?
Yeah, so basically they moved them to another spot. And it just so happened that Ezekiel walked into that spot where they moved them to and didn't know about it. And they opened fire on them while they were out in the middle of a field with no cover.
Yeah, so it makes you wonder, who did we lose?
And that's where it ended.
Yeah, well, that's where that part ended.
No, that was the end of the show.
Yeah, but I mean, there were other things too. What I mean is like Jesus and Morgan escorting the Savior prisoners when that one guy's being a scumbag to Morgan, and then we wind up with the walkers that are tumbling from a hill that's above them.
That was funny as hell.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and of course in the chaos now the Saviors that are chained together are now being eaten by walkers that are tumbling down a hill. So there's a double. Now we have 3 problems here. It's like we have Saviors, then we have Saviors that we have people in our camp that don't want to kill. And now we're in the middle of tumbling down the hill walkers that are going to get up and start eating motherfuckers, which is what they did. And of course the Savior started to run, which led to Morgan running through the woods and, chasing them. And then Morgan winds up, he actually gunned down one of them before Jesus stops him, blocks the gun. And then they had that big John Woo choreographed martial arts scene between Jesus and Morgan, since they're the 2 martial artists of the series, where Jesus wanted to try to stop Morgan and reason with him. And Morgan's philosophy was, look, they're Saviors. Let's just kill all of them. And what are we going to do with these guys out here? And Morgan seems to be sort of psychologically breaking down because at the end of that confrontation, he sort of said,
he said, I know I'm not right, but it doesn't make me wrong.
And then of course, Tara said, you're not wrong, because she's team kill.
Yeah. But she didn't understand, like, he meant, I know I'm not right in the head.
Yeah, because he didn't even seem like he was in a trance during the whole fight. Like he snapped out of it in a weird way.
Yeah, because when Jesus said, are we done? He's like, what?
Yeah. He kind of looked disoriented for a second.
Yeah, so that really sucks. And of course what happened with the Kingdom, that sucks too, because we saw that there were casualties. We don't know who we lost, but the guns went off and then they all took cover. And this looks like it's going in the direction of the comic book, so just get ready for a little bit more heartbreak before things get together. I did say there was another lineup at one point, right? You may get that lineup soon, so we'll see what happens. And with the Morales stuff, I'm glad they put the fucking arrow through his head. He got to call Rick Officer Friendly, which is a throwback from season 1. And he called Rick a monster, which indicates to us that he had a twisted perception of Rick, probably thanks to the Saviors. But it's also a matter of perspective, because if you are a Savior, you hear about this guy named Rick Grimes going around killing your people in their sleep and shit. It does sound bad.
Then you hear Negan on the other side, and he's a monster, but everybody praises him.
Right. So It's unfortunate, but he did need to die. Daryl killed him. This is also a foreshadowing that Daryl's starting to get a little nasty. He's starting to Daryl used to have boundaries as far as killing. Daryl
and he killed that guy at the end too.
Yeah, Daryl had no hesitation, and the guy that you mentioned that they had to ask about the gun. And Rick promised him that if he told him, he would spare his life. And as soon as he gave the information, Daryl, without flinching, pulled that gun and just blew his brains out and just walked off. Daryl's completely desensitized at this point, which is always a problem that you're going to come into with this. But Daryl's no longer, we've seen him go through a few changes where in the early seasons he was a scumbag. You always thought that would be the guy in a horror movie. You'd be like, oh, I don't like that guy. And surprisingly, he became the guy you're rooting for. And then he became a little bit more he sort of became the conscience of the group in a lot of ways. But I think after the prisoner thing with Negan, after having to stay at Sanctuary, it changed him for the worse in some ways and for the better in others, because now he just seems to kill when he needs to. And he's not he's definitely unhinged. I don't know what's going to change that about him, but now you're getting Daryl to times 100 with the way that he's acting. So get ready for that.
He gives zero fucks right now. So
and the last thing was Eric and Aaron.
Yeah, Eric and Aaron. Eric, we mentioned last week he got shot. He was bleeding out. So he leaves him on the tree and tells Aaron to go and finish fighting this war and winning it. And once they're done, at the end of the episode, he comes back. The tree that Aaron was leaning on, Aaron's not there anymore. And Eric's not there anymore. And Aaron looks off in the distance and he sees Aaron, what looks like the back of Aaron. I guess it was Aaron walking off. Eric, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Indicating that basically he had succumbed to his wounds and now he turned into a walker and walked off, and he was going to go to put him down, but the other guy held him back and just told him, that's not him anymore. Just let him go. And that was it. They just let him go. It was really sad the way they did it too. Really, really big moment there.
Yeah, really heartbreaking.
Yeah, because you never really seen that before. Most of the time you'll see a person turn. And that's what I love when they do things like that in this series, because they don't handle it just the cliche way. Normally you would expect to see a guy turn, and what would happen? He would turn and he'd attack the person who he was with. And now it's like the person having to kill the zombie version of their buddy. We've seen a million times. But it's cool that he just got back. He looked in the distance and there was Eric just walking off down the road. That's it. You know what I mean? There's no closure to that in a lot of ways for him. Aside from what the other guy said to him, which is that that's not him, he's already gone. But it's just another way just another one of those interesting scenes, it just leaves a lot of very thought provoking. And Rick's also taking Polaroids. I noticed a lot of the Alexandria people are doing that. This is almost a callback to back when the Saviors were bashing people's heads in and taking the Polaroids of the aftermath and leaving them on the walls and stuff as a message. Now I notice Rick's team seems to be doing something with Polaroids here.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's where's he getting all the film?
They've been doing this since the first episode of the season. If you look in the background of almost every scene, even when they're not focused on the people, a lot of the extras are in the background just taking Polaroids during all the war scenes. So that's leading to something.
Yeah, a collage.
Yeah, that was it. Cool episode. Gracie also, the little baby Gracie gets saved.
Yes, they gave her to Tobin, right?
No, they gave it to Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron took it because he was going to Hilltop.
Yeah, he's going to Hilltop, so maybe that'll be his adopted daughter now that he lost Eric. I don't know what they're doing with that. But what we did learn over the last week, and it's kind of been buzzing all over the internet, is we learned something about the time jump that they did. Because there was a time jump, as you all saw, Old Man Rick with his family and stuff. Something that was picked up on over the past week is that if you look at the time jump, the little girl that runs at Rick and hugs him is holding a stuffed animal bunny, and it's the same stuffed animal bunny that's in Gracie's crib. Therefore, in that flash forward, which is the future, you're not seeing Judith. That was Gracie. There was no Judith in that scene.
Huh.
Or
interesting.
Just have the toy.
Or she just has the toy, but there should be two kids, right? There should be two little girls, and there aren't in that scene.
Maybe AMC got your message.
Unless they're just punking us because they expected us to find this, and when we finally do revisit that, another little girl will come out afterwards, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I've also heard some stuff. I'm not going to dig too further into it in this episode because we have a lot of wrestling to talk about, but I'm going to say this. I heard some stuff that there's some pretty convincing truth to that's a drastic, and I mean drastic, deviation from the comic books that none of you are going to like.
Oh, someone's dying.
And I mean, we're talking,
Crap.
This will probably be the most drastic deviation that you've ever seen anything go through, and you're not going to like it. And it might have to do with
Carl's
it might have to do with a person's contract. It might have to do with with what they're going to be doing if they're going to be staying on, but there might be a really bad deviation. I almost want to believe, unfortunately, it came from a source that a lot of things come from that's usually pretty credible, but there just seems, there's a chance that there's a really bad deviation that if they do it, I don't even know how they would recover from it. So.
I've read a lot of stuff about Chandler Riggs.
Crap.
Let's not go any further into it for this one.
Nope, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, rumors are rumors, but that's
it's all rumor. It's all rumor for now. Oh, boy. So, on that high note, you guys ready to talk some wrestling?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Let's do this.
Yeah, well, the biggest news of the week, which you all know, is about Chris Jericho, who's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom 12, and he's going to be facing Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yep,
Right.
and it will be for that U.S. title too.
It is for the title.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to let you guys hear, whoever didn't hear it, just a Chris Jericho promo, and I'm going to link you in the chat room as well.
Kenny Omega. What a dynamic performer. What a fantastic, tremendous performer. But he's not the best in the world. I am. So many have claimed to be the best, from Shawn Michaels to Edge to CM Punk, but they're all gone, and I'm still here. Because I am the best in the world. I am the greatest of all time. I am the alpha of this business. And I'm going to prove it. Because I'm challenging you, Kenny. Jericho versus Kenny. Alpha versus Omega, to see who is really the best. I want to meet you January 4th at Wrestle Kingdom 12 in the Tokyo Dome. So let's see who's really the best. Bitch.
Them fighting
Well,
words.
yeah.
Yep, them was major fighting words. Holy shit! But yeah, when that popped up on my Facebook feed that morning yesterday, I was like, "Holy fucking shit! I have to fucking watch what led up to this." And then I watched it, and the best reactions had to be from Don Callis and Kevin Kelly. They were speechless. They were like, "What? Is this even possible? What did we just see? What?" And like the crowd was just like. And like when the lights came back on and it showed a close up of Kenny and the Bucks in the ring, Kenny was just laughing his ass off. And he was like, and he basically agreed to the match in Japanese, and it was decided later on that it was going to be for the U.S. title.
Yeah. And, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I had to ask Rick and he didn't know. I forgot to ask you last night when we were talking. Is this Switchblade?
No, this is not the Switchblade character. I originally thought it was because everybody's making such a big deal about it, but that was revealed later on after the main event match between Ibushi and Tanahashi. That was revealed later on.
Yes,
okay.
And that's linked into the chat room right now for you guys. Spoiler alert, Switchblade is Jay White, and that's the reveal.
Yes.
That's the reveal video that we just shared there, so if you were curious about it. Because I know some people did ask about Jericho being Switchblade. No. It is Jay White. I guess that's a new gimmick that he's doing. And, you guys know, cause we talk about this sometimes off the air, but, sometimes when there's news or something or some sort of a story, we might sit on it for a week and not do it, partially because we want more to develop. The other part being sometimes time constraints on here, obviously. So the Jericho thing, we sort of caught wind on like about a couple of weeks ago, but it's something that you wanted to find out what happened before we said anything. Because if you look at their Twitter, and this goes back about 2 weeks, they've been arguing on Twitter. And at first it came off like a regular argument, which was why we were going to report it on here. But then it went a little crazy where I thought, no, these guys are building to something. Like I didn't know what it was going to be, but it was like they're either working everybody, but it seems like they're building. And then of course last week, before we even came on here for the last episode, there was speculation that they were building for a match. So we knew that there was a chance that this was going on.
I mean, even on his Twitter, Jericho's like, I know where we can settle this. And he put a picture of a cruise ship.
But that's what I was thinking about, is that what I found peculiar before they actually even announced this match was on his cruise. You know how he's doing that Jericho cruise? He's having a bunch of ROH people there. And I thought to myself, that's a little odd. Like, I always pictured him as being a WWE guy.
He's having like a Ring of Honor tournament on that cruise ship, and it was also revealed. I think it was last week, I believe, that the Bucks and Marty Scurll are going to be on that cruise that tournament.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, that kind of like, I kind of hummed at that when I thought that was a bit odd. So, I mean, I was still definitely surprised when I read the news, but I mean, there were still baby steps and little things happening beforehand that I can tell he's pushing away from or at least kind of escaping WWE's wrath at the moment. So
I believe his contract just expired.
I guess
so he's now a free agent.
He was on a month-to-month contract. He was never really under long-term. It was just basically like an appearance, like stay for another month, stay for another month. And
he did a house show not too long ago too.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's break this story now. We're gonna explain what's going on here. First of all, I'm going to get the tweets. I'm going to read you guys some of the tweets to just understand from the beginning with Jericho. A fan tweeted and just said, who is this Kenny Omega guy? I don't recall him being at any WrestleMania pay-per-view event. And then he said, nah, I'm just the guy having those 6-star classics you keep hearing about. Surely Y2J's have plenty of those in the quote unquote big leagues, right? And then Jericho says, your matches are incredible. Too bad nobody sees them. # minor leagues. So,
I remember reading that tweet.
So this happened a couple of weeks ago. So then there was a photo circulating around where Kenny Omega kissed Marty Scurll, and Jericho shared it. He said could possibly be Kenny Omega's best ever in-ring performance. # 7-star kiss. And then Kenny Omega,
that was probably from the Halloween episode they had from Road to Power Struggle.
And then Kenny Omega said, at least I could still work a half decent match in my costume. So then a few days went by. And then once again, they wound up getting into an argument again, where Jericho basically said that he has a close relationship with Ghetto and that they were tag team partners in the past. And then he basically told Kenny Omega that one phone call from him and his career will be over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm going to link you guys to that tweet. And that's kind of when I knew, you know what, we're not going to talk about that this week because this is definitely something. Like, there's no way that this is what actually happened. And that led to what you guys found out about. They finally announced that match. Now, as far as the entire cruise thing goes, the thing about it is WWE had no idea that this was coming out. They found out when everyone else did about the announcement because he is a free agent and he can work anywhere. So, he was, like you guys said, he was month to month. But apparently what's really going on here is he was unhappy with WWE because he went to Triple H about that cruise and he asked him if he could use NXT wrestlers for it. And Triple H shut him down. So he said, fine, I'll use someone else. So this is the reason why he has Ring of Honor guys and why he's doing a contract with Ring of Honor. Apparently he's been unhappy. We also talked last week about how they tried to kill the Festival of Friendship. And, he's made a few remarks here and there just about where it just doesn't seem like he likes creative, like most people that are in WWE. He didn't seem like he likes creative. And then of course Triple H, not wanting to use the NXT guys on the cruise thing. I think it sort of offended him a little bit. And, I think this was in a way, it's just what he decided to do instead. So you really can't blame the guy for that. And it's funny because, to hear that he was offended by Triple H because, it's a setback in their relationship because they used to not like each other and then eventually they evolved past that. Like he was actually on, the Hot Ones podcast and he talked about that. I'm going to let you guys hear.
When you think about all the feuds that you had, which one held its heat inside the ring and outside of it? Get that swig out.
Triple H. Yeah, in 2002, we didn't like each other. I think we were almost pitted against each other in a lot of ways. Gotta take my jacket off.
Let it go.
You guys knew that. That's why you mic'd me inside, too. Fucking diabolical. We had great chemistry, great matches. I just didn't like him. He didn't like me. And there was no falseness, So now, I love him. Great guy.
All right. Yeah, for those of you that didn't know, what he's doing there is they're eating hot wings and testing all these hot sauces, and he was up to like something that was like close to 1 million on the Scoville scale. That's why he's like, I gotta take my jacket off. That's why he's spitting in the buckets, and you hear that in the background because his mouth was burning.
Okay.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting podcast. It's funny as hell, though.
No, it isn't. Not that part. Why are you lying?
Yeah, he's just sitting there like, oh, this is hot.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Apparently there was some sort of, I wouldn't even call it heat, but I guess it's just a decision that he made after what happened.
So I have some Canadian gossip. You guys probably don't know this, but so we have this station here called CBC. I don't know what the equivalent in America would be, but it's not quite public broadcasting, but it's like there's definitely government funding to it, but everybody gets it. And
it's like PBS.
But there is commercials. Like we get PBS here too, but there's commercials with it. But anyway, regardless, Jericho has his own show on there that's premiering in a few weeks, a comedy show actually. So I think that he's been thinking long term about, like I had mentioned before in that last comment, getting out of WWE, being able to basically carve his own path, whether it be music, when he wants to wrestle, how he wants to wrestle on a cruise ship in Japan, if he wants to do comedy. I think he's, from the sounds of it, trying, like on his actual own terms. Like I think that WWE did definitely give him a lot of leeway in the past, but now from the sounds of it, he wants to do it his way.
Good. Yeah, everyone seems to be going to New Japan. They can't feel good about this right now. It must not be.
No, they're probably super pissed.
Oh yeah, they're probably pissed.
Oh yeah.
Which that makes me laugh.
I seen a picture of Undertaker recently wearing. I think you sent it to me, Scott. Undertaker wearing the Young Buck shirt, right?
Yes.
Is that real?
Yeah, nice. I have to see this picture.
All right, let me get the link. I need to know
if it, because I saw it.
Is it legit?
Yeah. I don't know. I saw him with one, and it looks like he was wearing, I saw a picture of him coming out the other day with an American flag or a machine gun with the American flag pattern on it. And it looks very similar to this photo too. So I'm wondering if this got photoshopped on top of what he was wearing the other day.
Oh, that'd be even better.
But even if it's photoshopped or not, it's still a great photo. Like, it's hilarious to think that.
Yeah. I want to know if that's legit. Let me know.
And actually, he's holding a Subway cup too. Like, it's a hilarious photo regardless.
That's funny.
Gratuitous marketing right all over that photo.
Yeah. No, so anyway, but like, yeah, if they're not treating him right and he's put in his time, he's a fucking legend. He can do what he wants at this point. Good for him. And
then Jericho got into it with a fan on Twitter that was angry about the fact that this Twitter war was a work. I guess he was emotionally invested because some stupid marking, he tweeted, "Good for everyone, yes, but why not just be straight up about it? Why try to hide it in a worked online shoot? It's insulting to fans." And then JR tweets and he says, "I'm missing your point regarding Jericho. I love this creative as the fans get a payoff too." And then the Mark tweets and he says, "I agree, but why not just be straightforward? This isn't the 80s and 90s. Fan sophistication is much higher. Stop the working." And then Jericho tweets and says, "We fooled your stupid ass."
Love it.
Such a great ending to that whole thing.
I put the link in the chat room of the Undertaker wearing the shirt.
Okay. Good old Taker.
I wonder if he bought the Jinder Mahal Subway.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. You guys could just hear Vince now. That son of a bitch. He's like, "Hunter, crossed him off the Hall of Fame list."
Oh, God. So Kenny Omega basically was asked at a New Japan Pro Wrestling press conference how he felt about the Jericho thing, and this is what he had to say.
Just for this fight against Chris Jericho,
yep.
Are you going as WWE in your mind when you're fighting against them in January 4th?
No. WWE in general, you can quote me on this, I don't care. Everyone there is so below me. No one can put together a performance like me from there. Anyone that's copying anyone is copying me. I'm the trend right now. I don't need to search anyone as an opponent. I don't need to feel the need to take on anyone from there to prove anything.
I guess it's good to be confident.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yes, I agree that they're trying to catch up to New Japan, if you ask me.
Maybe their creative is. I mean, WWE still has a lot of the best wrestlers in the world right now.
Holy shit.
What happened?
What?
So apparently, I'm looking at this on Twitter. It just popped up on my feed. Impact Wrestling is hiring people to sit in the stands.
I heard
paying them
a few hours ago.
$12.50 an hour. Paying them $50 a day to sit there for 4 hours while they do their taping, and they're going to give them signs.
Scott almost says it as if we weren't going to have an Impact Wrestling segment at some point that he just blew.
I didn't know if you had this.
That's fucking hilarious.
He said it almost as if we weren't doing a show right now that covers the news.
You know what? I want to know when it's come to this point, Rick, when are we, Talk Brunch, gonna put down the hammer on Impact Wrestling?
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean? Like, we keep saying week after week, I can't believe they're still around, or is this
we've been saying that for years that they're still around. They're like freaking cockroaches at this point.
Yeah, they're like Twinkie infested cockroaches.
Yeah.
Unless we're talking about like a WWE alumni or like somebody with notoriety, like fuck them. This is pathetic at this point, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll be getting to that later on.
I can't wait.
Of course.
These guys don't give a fuck what time they go to sleep, so neither do I. So anyway.
I can't wait.
So yeah, getting back to the New Japan stuff in regards to the Bullet Club, Cody Rhodes was asked on Twitter by another fan because they basically compared the way that Jimmy Jacobs handled his departure from WWE to the way that Cody Rhodes handled his. Because he's a typical guy, leaves WWE, shits on WWE to get some heat and then rally around them. It's what Cody Rhodes did. It's bitterness. And then he shares Jimmy Jacobs' tweet where he says, "For the record, I have zero bitter feelings towards WWE. I had a great 2.5 years there, but now I'm very excited to perform again." And then, Cody Rhodes tweets and he says, "It's not bitterness to compete or dare to dream. Me/my crew can't be touched right now, and I don't mind telling the world. Step on toes, VKM." I guess quoting Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah, so this the whole tug of war between New Japan and WWE and Ring of Honor and now having Jericho crossing sides is definitely something else. Like, it's definitely landscape changing. And I told you, I said it's going to be interesting to see where the wrestling world goes in the next year or so.
I think this is exactly what we need, though. If we want WWE's product to get better, that competition needs to creep up on them, and I think that's what's happening. And I'm happy to hear and see this because they need to know there's a threat, man. They can't keep thinking that they're the only dog in town, man. No, they need to know that fans are bored and there's other options out there at this point. So
yeah, they really
but they're stupid and cocky enough to still think, oh, we're still making all the money because of the all this kind of stuff, and with the network we're still getting all this money. We have every right to be cocky because it's the E. That's what they do. They don't see New Japan or Ring of Honor as a legitimate threat because they think, oh, that's just like the indies. That's just what people talk about, and we just like stealing their talent just to say, ooh, look what new shiny toy we have for this week, or ooh, look who we have as the flavor of the month. They had every right to say that up to like a month or so ago, but now, like, to me, this is a first of many. Like, we're gonna be hearing, or we're gonna be like this. I think is going to be like the first event as far as that competition is concerned. Like, this is a big, like, to me. This is as a WWE fan, this is a huge deal. So I welcome this because I think that any fire that they can burn under their ass to be competitive and make the product better, I'm all for it. So I don't look at this as a bad thing. I agree with you. They definitely looked at as Japan and Ring of Honor as little dogs, but this is for Jericho, like, their guy that's been around for as long as he has, to cross over like this is and he was in WWE not that long ago. To me, is a huge deal, and they have to take this seriously. And I hope I'm not jumping ahead, but I almost feel like I don't know if you're going to touch on the Triple H story. Are you going to go there, Rick? About
of course, I'm going to go there. Yes.
Okay. So I'll let you tell the story, and I'll put my little input after, because it kind of, to me, goes together in a sense. So
yeah. But the last piece of New Japan news before we get into that is Kushida also upset, which we didn't talk about, because of Enzo stealing his move, the wind-up punch.
Mm-hmm.
And he tweeted, "What a fuck," with the shot of him doing the wind up punch. Which I'm gonna.
Yeah, I actually saw that tweet and busted out laughing.
Yeah, we didn't have time to talk about it last week, but I just thought it was hilarious. What a fuck.
If maybe Enzo was a credible wrestler, I might be offended, but like, who fuck? It's Enzo. Nobody pays attention to his fucking wrestling moves. Who cares?
And besides, Kushida does it so much better, and whenever he connects, it sounds really fucking nasty.
So there's a couple of links for you. Scott, get those up, please.
Yeah.
And also, what's up, Destin? Shout out to Destin in the chat room.
Hey, Destin.
WRF1 as well. Didn't forget about you guys. But yeah. So I don't know. Everybody's stealing something from someone. But he took that really offensively. He took it really offensively. It seems like all of the moves that we're seeing lately are stuff that's coming from there.
But, I mean, why wouldn't he be pissed at No Way Jose, who's doing it too?
Maybe because No Way Jose is a credible wrestler. Isn't he the founder of Los Ingobernables?
No Way Jose?
Oh, I'm sorry, not
dude in NXT.
I mean, I was thinking of Andrade Cien Almas. No.
No. I was like, what the fuck? When the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking of Andrade Cien Almas, but no Way Jose is not the founder of shit.
What a dick! Whoever did that's a dick.
Yeah, right. The famous drop about him. It would be a very different stable if it was him. No, but I was thinking of Andrade Cien Almas.
Womp 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 womp.
With that song, right? Oh my God, let's not even go there.
Fuck.
We're not even going there. Not even.
Yeah, no.
But we are going to talk about Lio Rush again, because apparently NXT management pulled him into their office to talk to him and to, I guess, sort of scold him about, making his little Asuka Emma joke. And he almost was fired from what we're hearing. They almost fired him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a cunt hair away from being fired. Like that close. So, do you guys think they should have fired him?
No, it was a rookie move. If it becomes a trend and he's not delivering results and he's not, but to me, it was just a rookie. It was a stupid thing to say. Rude, stupid, inconsiderate, totally dumb thing to say. But again, after that apology and the spelling mistakes and poor grammar, gave me a little more insight to his brain, and he just does not seem like a very smart person. So if it becomes an issue that he keeps tweeting controversial things or whatever, even if there's backstage politics, yeah, he should be definitely like hanging on by a string. But I mean, to me, it just seems like a rookie move. I hope he doesn't do it again. He's a fucking idiot for the first place, but stupid.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he deserved to be fired. Scolded. Bury him a little bit. Go. Maybe get him chokeslammed 3 times by Kane, stuff like that. But yeah,
you give him the You give him the Finn Balor, as we call it.
Yeah.
Should have him get beat up more by Velveteen Dream. Shit.
Oh my God.
So you know how they should punish him? Make him take fucking high school English classes. Make him educate himself, because he does not sound like a very smart individual. Like anybody with half a brain would know not to fucking go there in the first place, let alone make your apology sound like it was written from a 3-year-old.
You know what though? He's really small. You know how they should punish him? Let him get fucked by Heidenreich.
Good God Almighty! You really
man.
Guy.
Make him have the Heiden ride.
Oh shit! Make him take the Velveteen Dream. That's fucked up, Blancho.
Blancho says make him take the Velveteen Dream. Damn.
Make him take the Gimmick.
Oh my God! So Jim Cornette actually had some stuff to say about Lio Rush after hearing about the whole situation.
Oh, that's good.
This fucking Lio Rush character. Have you heard about this? This fucking guy. And at first I didn't understand why it was a thing, because apparently this fucking Lio Rush tweeted, well, Emma got fired, and Lio Rush tweeted, well, I guess that's what happens when you're not ready for Asuka. Asuka, whatever Oscar Mayer, Oscar Mendoza, whoever the fuck it may be. But then come to find out he was never in her, or in any angle with her, right? He wasn't playing up any relationship to her that they'd had on television with Nana Boo or whatever. He was just some fucking flunky in NXT that made a comment about one of the girls on the main roster getting fired. So right there, you've got a level of stupidity that's, pretty remarkable in this day and age, right? But then it gets better.
Well, she had a match with Asuka where she got a lot of offense in, which is, somewhat questionable considering Asuka's brand new and she is a monster that they, that kills everyone.
And they're about to fire the other girl. So I think, this guy's stupid because already people are starting to jump in, and I think oh God, who was it? Somebody said, you ain't going to last long with the Wolves in the locker room, kid, or whatever. Somebody from the main roster, maybe Bray Wyatt or whatever. But then come to find out it's the same goof, because I don't remember these people's names. When we show these goofy clips on the internet of, more people doing stupid shit. But this is the same guy, it was pointed out on one of the articles I saw on this, that took the sit-out power bomb off a ladder through a table, and not even just a 6-foot ladder, big ladder, sit-out power bomb. Folks, visualize this: sit-out power bomb off a big ladder through a table from some other outlaw mud show goof, and not only didn't sell it, but popped right back up and went rawr, because it was his last night in the promotion, and he wanted to get a big pop before he reported to work the next day for NXT. You fucking moron. You blithering idiot. You simpering simpleton. You fucking complete and utter abysmally ignorant, mentally handicapped, dwarf-minded goof. You not only did a move that exposed the business to be all horseshit and help kill the company that apparently you were saying sayonara to, but the day before you get the only chance probably at a paying job in this business that you will ever have, you take a bump like that to begin with. Good Lord. The thing is, I used to love, when I was in the business, to be in the locker room with the boys, because if I was out in the building with the fans, they would have torn me limb from limb, right? Now, I can't stand to be around half of the wrestlers. I'm not talking about my contemporaries. I'm talking about the new crop. I just go to shows basically to hang out with the fucking fans, because there are more marks in the locker room now, apparently, than there are in, and that's another thing. And I know, and Dave Meltzer hates this when people say marks. That's an outdated term. That's a derogatory term for wrestling fan. No, marks and fans are different things. And I think it's time somebody explained this. There can be smart fans and there can be smart marks. There can be wrestlers that are fans and there can be wrestlers that are marks. A mark can be on either side of the fucking aisleway. Whether it be performer or patron in the wrestling business. Because a mark is somebody that, while they think they know what's going on around them, are completely clueless. Marks are people who think they are in command of their situation, but in effect are being played for patsies. Marks are people who have, they think, all the information that they need about a certain subject, and in reality, they are about to be fucking put down, fleeced, or otherwise shown up by somebody who's a real expert, and they don't know that yet. Marks basically can be on any side of this fucking equation. And if you not only, and then I saw a picture of this fucking guy. He's about 5 foot nothing and weighs 100 and sponge if he's wet. So if you are such a mark that you not only expose the business on your way out of a promotion that apparently, I guess, meant something to you or had helped you out in some kind of way, but then you take the most dangerous bump in the history of bump taking before you report to a job with the WWE. And then when you are a low man on the totem pole, you tweet a derogatory tweet to millions of people about somebody else that's actually been farther than you getting fired just because it pops into your head like a fart after a fucking burrito from Taco Bell. You're a fucking mark. And a lot of the people that think they know what's going on with the and how the wrestling business has evolved and how we know better and y'all don't, and y'all are just jealous and wrestling is our art and we want to fucking express it. But y'all are fucking marks too, because not only are you fucking deluding yourselves, but in the process, you're fucking putting a kibosh on other people's goddamn success in the wrestling business also. So anyway, that's why I like to hang out with the fans, not the marks. Hang out with the wrestlers, not the marks. When you understand what the wrestling business is supposed to be about and how to get over in it and how to get it over, then you're smart to the business. And if you don't, you're a mark. And that applies to fans and to wrestlers.
And to Leo Rush.
And to Leo Rush.
Well.
And to Leo Rush.
Wow. That's harsh, man. That was a little harsh by Cornette.
Yeah, he was a bit harsh. But I was just thinking as he was saying that, talking about like the newer wrestlers, obviously these people that are in the business now grew up watching wrestling. They're passionate about wrestling. I'd probably put them in that category of being marks to begin with. If you're going to be a fucking professional wrestler for a career, you're a fucking mark. Like, you love wrestling to make that as your career. And I think so I can understand where that would come from. Like, those guys beforehand kind of paved the way and basically blossomed the whole business, but the ones coming in now are the ones that have it already paved out for them. Of course they're fans. Of course they're quote unquote marks. To become a professional wrestler in the first place, you have to be insane about wrestling. Like, no doubt. So I can understand how that would be.
Yeah, welcome Queasy Feeling to the 2K18 Vodcast chat room. Thanks for clicking the follow button. Thanks for joining the family.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. So Leo Rush posted on Twitter, and he said, "A mistake should be your teacher, not your attacker. A lesson, not a loss. A temporary and necessary detour, not a dead end. And I can assure you this isn't the end. It's only the beginning. Live, learn, and move forward. Hashtag I came to collect. Hashtag prove him wrong."
Good. I hope he goes out there and, just makes his amends. We all like Leo Rush. We like what he did in ROH. Let's see what he could do here in NXT and make something of himself. Fix your mistake, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the Emma thing goes, so we're hearing a couple of things as far as why she was released. One of them, obviously, we knew she had issues with the writing team. The fact she would send out tweets sort of mocking their bad storylines or the fact that she wasn't used. And they said that she made a lot of enemies as far as just creative went. The creative did not like her. But we're also hearing that the writing on the wall had to do with the fact that she botched that Emelina gimmick, which was apparently given to her by Vince. And they say sort of when you screw something up that Vince gives you, it pretty much is like a death sentence. So even if it was a crap gimmick, which I think it was, we're hearing that was pretty much the beginning of the end there.
How did she even get to mess that up? She came out once with that. Like, she barely got to use that.
There's a problem. That's where it is. It never progressed past beignets and
I was just going to say, they kept fucking delaying her. How is that her fault?
Well, they said that she would always shoot down ideas and that basically when she did the gimmick, she sort of, they said she sort of half-assed it, where she would sort of just do it negatively before she even really gave it a chance, in their opinion.
I'm going to be extremely, you guys can disagree, agree. I'm curious. Ew, this is going to make me sound like such a cunt. To me, if you saw her when she came out in NXT and with Santino, she's not sexy. Like, she's not. She's in great shape, but that Emelina gimmick was a sexy gimmick. She's not sexy.
Yeah, she's like an Australian Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, that's the best way to actually.
I could totally see that.
I'm not calling her ugly, man. Like, I don't think she's an ugly girl. I just don't think she has that sex appeal that they were trying to portray in those fucking vignettes before. Like, she's just an athletic chick, like, great shape, decent wrestler, sure, but not sexy. Like, she definitely got tweaked. Like, she got some work done. Don't get me wrong. And she looks okay and present and good and pretty, but she's not like that sex pot that they were trying to, like, make us believe. To me, somebody who portrays himself more sexy is somebody like whether or not you believe it or not, but who at least portrays himself in that manner is somebody like Summer Rae or Lana. Not fucking Emelina doing that dance with the bubbles. Like, are you kidding me? Did you think I forgot about that? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't think that I can't blame her if that's the issue, because that's not her.
Yeah.
No.
Well, she tweeted saying, I feel very fortunate to have the most amazing family, friends, and fans in the world. I'm excited for the future. The best is yet to come.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat room right now, and same old Mikey says, no, she's definitely sexy. I have to disagree. I'm not saying that she's not necessarily, maybe I should change my wording. I definitely think there's different type of sexy, but you know why she's sexy? Because there was a lot of hair, makeup, lighting, plastic surgery involved to make her appear in that manner. When quote unquote Emelina rolls out of bed or walks down the street, she doesn't look like that. Like, that's not Emma. Like, I don't know what they were trying to convince us of. She's not that, like, she's a good looking girl. I'm not disputing that. I just don't think that she's a fucking sex pot like they're trying to make it out to be.
Yeah, I agree. I could see that.
Yeah.
And Summer Rae, on the other hand, she was released because they thought that she would also be a sexy character. They said they wanted to make her into like the next Stacy Keibler, but then she got older and she didn't get the momentum they wanted apparently, and they just gave up after that.
What do you think's gonna happen when you fucking put her with Fandango for fucking 2 years? She's gonna get older.
Time does that.
You know, I mean, oh wow, she got older. How did that happen?
That damn time. If it wasn't for that fucking time, we could have done this.
I thought her name was Benjamin Button. Wasn't she supposed to get younger?
Oh man.
What the fuck? That's like, oh, she got older, so we released her. That's, encouraging.
That's bullshit. Because you know what? Then you look at people like Charlotte. Look at people like Nia. They are not spring chickens, man. They're in their mid-30s. Yeah. You can. I'm sorry. You can still be sexy and like up there. Look at who's a prime example of that right now. If you just got rid of those fucking you just got rid of those fucking bell bottoms. Mickie James is hot, and she's. I mean, in their eyes, as old as dirt. Yeah. I mean, just in a whole. They were putting Depends like in her locker room. I mean, come on. That's the problem with your country, guys. Is that they fucking you're not young enough and you're not skinny enough. Like it's. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. There's a lot of body shaming in this country, It's crazy. Yeah. It's everywhere. I'm just picking on you guys. It's everywhere. But in this business, particularly, I think Summer Rae had potential, definitely. And you know what? I think Emma had potential, and they just kind of let it go, and because of their own fuck ups, two women have lost their jobs now. Yep.
Yeah. And Summer Rae tweeted saying, they say you'll never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Well, that wasn't true in this situation. I knew the value of this moment. I knew the magnitude of this moment. I hear some of you say, but you didn't become champ, but you didn't get to push the push you deserve. You didn't get a title run. But see, I got my title. I became a WWE diva. Then she went on to release a more lengthy Instagram statement, which I will give you guys in the chat room. But, yeah, that sucks. I mean, I think it was a mistake in both accounts, honestly. Didn't really make any sense to me why they even bothered to do that. They could have found something for them to do. Make them a tag team and let them get jobbed every week. Well, they're paid along with Darren Young until the end of February and under non-compete clauses. So,
actually, I'm sorry.
So yeah, that you're going to have to wait for a while to see them.
Yeah, I was going to say Emma actually changed her Twitter handle back because I was like, who the fuck is this posting? Because I had followed Emma, but she changed everything. And then I read it, and she's actually said, no, February 1st, she could start taking bookings. So.
Yes. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then WWE did some releases themselves in NXT as well to follow up with these. They released Sawyer Fulton, that guy from Sanity.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him?
Yeah, I don't agree with all these. I mean, Summer Rae was injured, Darren Young was injured, he was injured, and they're just cutting them as soon as they come back, it seems. That seems a little shady to me.
Yeah.
Doesn't it you?
I mean, Sawyer Fulton wasn't that good when he was in Sanity. They did need to get rid of him for that group to semi-work.
I'm not saying he was good, but I'm just saying, if you're injured, that's one thing, I mean, I can't see how they wait for you to come back from injury and then they're like, bye-bye.
But you know what? If they feel like you're injury prone or you're just going to be, on the sidelines for the whole time, not that I agree with it, but I, on a sympathetic level, I get it, but I can understand why they would feel it was not there. These people aren't needed if they're always injured. Emma was injured for the longest time too, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
She did have some injury problems. They also got rid of that. They had a guy from a tryout from China, right? Leo Gao from China.
They had a few tryouts from China that they signed when they were over there. Excuse me.
Yeah, he hurt his neck during training last August, and so then he was cleared to return limited work, but the injury was really serious, so they cut him too.
Wow.
Yeah, and lastly, Josh Brettel, remember him? The Tough Enough guy from 2015?
Yeah, from Tough Enough, yeah.
They got rid of him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
finally?
he's done.
Finally?
Now I don't have to see what looks like him wrestling in his underwear, right?
Yeah, wasn't he like the Wookiee or whatever, the Yeti?
Yeah, the Yeti or some bullshit.
Yeah, he was a Yeti, but he made a Wookiee sound.
Yeah, friend Breaking Ground. Have you guys seen that clip?
Yeah, of course. I see him on Breaking Ground.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, and again, it looks like he's wrestling in his underwear. That's uncomfortable. Change your gear, bro. Like, why do you look like you're in your underwear? Even when he won, go back and look at the Tough Enough way he won. When he's standing there winning with Triple H, I was like, why is this guy in his underwear?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Crazy stuff.
He put his foot in his mouth on Twitter, I think, when he had first started, too. What was it about now?
He said something stupid about somebody. I can't remember.
It was something stupid.
And Cody Rhodes got on him.
That's what it was. Yes. Oh, I'm going to have to look that up after. Yeah, that's fine. You can go. Bye.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that you don't like.
I got a flow. You got a what? I got a flow. I got a flow. You got a flow. So let it go. Yeah.
Brother.
Nah. Also, air, I have to thank you for the birthday wish. And I have to thank you to Hogan for the birthday wish.
Yeah. Oh my God. So it's Hogan time, and you know what that means. So apparently Hogan and Brutus Beefcake got into a Twitter war.
I heard about this. It's so odd.
What is happening? What is happening with these two? What is happening?
So this is another story that for some reason I just sat on because I don't know why. I had a feeling it was going to go somewhere. But last week, Hogan tweeted, "It's time for me to give myself a stone cold haircut, brother." And I thought to myself, we could report that, but something tells me that if we let that sit there for a while, there's no way someone's not going to comment on it. And then, so a fan tweets him. As planned, a fan tweets him, of course. And he says, Brutus Beefcake can cut your hair for you. So then, Brutus says, brother, I'd love to give the Hulkster a shave, but he won't come near me. He's too busy with my ex-wife, working on my book, which is fastly becoming a tell-all. Hold on to your bandana, brother. It's about to get real. And he put hashtag BTFBB, which I'm guessing is Brutus the fucking barber Beefcake, and then Karma. So then Hogan put, got the bandana glued on tight. Get a good lawyer, brother. So then Brutus says, get a good lawyer, WTF, bandana glued on, brother, loosen your hair extensions. They're making you paranoid. And then, and then Beefcake says, you have to get online with my ex-wife. She's already threatening, even though she's irrelevant. And then, he shares a picture of Hogan, and he says, here's a picture of Hogan carrying his own bag, a rare picture. And then Hogan says he's always been a follower and has no idea how deep the water is his leader is leading him into, brother. Officially, I'm done. I will not drop below the negative snake line again. I blame it on Tito's and Diet Ike, brother. I don't know what the fuck that even means. Are they speaking like a different language
Tito
now?
Santana and Ike Turner?
I was gonna say, what the fuck is that?
And then Beefcake sends a screenshot of an email from his ex-wife saying that she was with Hogan, basically. She said, had a blast with Terry last night, honey, and he can't stand you. You're trash and he knows it. Officially off Team Hogan for life. Ha 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 ha. So that's what Beefcake's wife sends him, which he now shares publicly.
What's with Hogan taking everybody's wives?
Holy shit.
So then Beefcake tweets, hangs out with my ex-wife and bashes me all week and blames it on Tito's. Do unto others. Maybe someone's guilty because they stabbed me in the back, not the other way around. Chew on that. I'm out. All this started when my wife wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid. And then Hogan says, okay, I'm back above the snake line. Not like myself. I guess I just was remembering the way it was. Thank God for higher ground, praying for them. And then Beefcake says, well, hanging out with my ex-wife, trashing the person who has always had your back. Keep praying to that false god of yours. Jesus is my savior. And then Beefcake posts a screenshot, basically with another message from his ex-wife. And she's basically, it's a PM from her. She says, hey, did you even consider that I have a daughter and that Hulk is her godfather and that Brutus hasn't seen his daughter in 7 years and that's why Hulk and I are friends? You post that disgusting assumption and my attorney will be on you immediately. And thank you for upsetting our daughter. You will be getting a formal cease and desist for your accusations. Get your facts straight. You're so far from gone from the truth. And then, Beefcake says parental alienation for 7 years, and that's the truth. Hogan never had time for my ex or my daughter until he ended our friendship. Icing on the cake, my daughter retweets Hulk Hogan insulting me because my ex has her brainwashed. If Hogan were a friend, he'd stay away from my daughter and ex-wife. Never had time to be there for them before. Mr. Positive, this is all to hurt me. # karma. You need to get your facts straight. I pay child support or I'd be in jail. I don't see my daughter because her mother has her brainwashed. And then Hogan, this is a funny tweet that Brutus put out. This looks like it's Hogan with the wife. And, I'm going to share this for you guys in the chat room. Oh, it's so fucking strange.
So fucked up, man. You still want Hogan to be the GM?
I don't know. It would be interesting. It would definitely be more interesting than Kurt being the GM.
You know what this is a prime example of? That Hogan has all the fucking money in the world, but it does not buy you class. That guy is fucking garbage.
Wow.
Do you see the picture?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Is that really, if you click on it though, right? Do you guys see the subtitle to it? Is that really what Hogan said? Running with the real OG, the real deal Barbie. You mad? What up?
Yeah, you mad?
Hulk Hogan from 727.
Oh my God.
She's definitely Hogan's type.
What, like intoxicated and drunk?
Intoxicated, big boob.
Didn't Hogan have a new wife or something like that?
I don't know. I lose track.
Well, he had somebody else's wife.
He has Brutus's wife clearly from the picture. But I mean, like, didn't he marry a chick that looked like his daughter?
I do recall that. Yeah, I think that was her mother though.
Yeah, I think he was dating her or some bullshit.
I don't even know.
What you with your best friend's fucking wife? And did he just get burned for fucking his friend's wife on tape?
Those are his favorites. Friends' wives.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason he has friends.
That's why he makes friends. Just to fuck them or fuck
so he can have the wives.
Brother.
Oh, 50 Shades of Hogan.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go bash my head now. Oh, man.
Yeah, so all their business is out there along with their pictures and everything. I hope that it was worth it.
Yeah,
exactly.
What a bunch of
the only thing missing from that was fucking Brother Love like hosting that segment.
Right? It was crazy, right? It was just like, wow, the way that exploded. All because he said he wanted to get a Stone Cold haircut. I thought that we were going to get like a joke the following week. Like if I let it sit to like a fan's going to comment on this. And it was like, holy shit, who would have thought that Stone Cold haircut thing didn't have any Stone Cold reference in it at all after all.
Right?
Well, they've been friends for years. Linda's ex-wife had accused them of being gay together, actually.
Yeah, she did. I remember those days.
Linda's ex-wife?
No, Hogan's ex-wife, Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like they've been tight, man. You know, so this is a bit, shocking. But I mean, not shocking, clearly, because he likes the friends' wives. That's, I don't know.
So you're saying Double H and Double B went to Brokeback Mountain?
That's what Linda was saying. That's what Linda saw.
Oh no, don't worry. It's not Hero DB didn't want to open it. It's not dirty or anything. It's just him with the wife.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show, but I saw Brutus in person not too long ago, and he was wearing one of those like t-shirt turtlenecks, and it was white, and it was like kind of transparent, and you could see his like big nipples through the shirt. Like it was weird. Like
for a split second, I thought you were gonna say, I don't know if I told you guys, but Brutus tried to slide into my DMs.
like you need a haircut? I can go upstairs or downstairs.
I'm overdue.
Oh God. Oh my God.
But anyway, everybody like there was this they were all supposed to go on stage to like answer fan questions. It was like it was at a Comic-Con, and like all these legends went on the stage, and like he didn't even bother fucking leaving his table. Nobody was there. He just sat there. He didn't even fucking bother to come up. But
like Lonely Virgil.
It was like, but he was just too good. He thought he was just too good to sit with Rock's dad, and who else was a bunch of like
Johnson. Really? Wow.
Yeah, there. I know. Which I mean, I don't want to get too much off topic, but let's for a second. I just want to talk about that. Rock's dad came to my shit town. Comic-Con in his old age, has to still go and do fucking Comic-Con bullshit with Rock making as much money as he does. Like, it's shocking in a way.
Maybe he just wants to. That'd be the explanation, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So, if you saw where I lived, I don't know if you guys would want to come here. I do
for the fans, you know.
I suppose, like, maybe. It just seems like a long way to come to, like, I could see doing like the majors, but like where I'm from, Hamilton, it's a bit outside Toronto. It's not like it's a huge major city. And I was not there to see Rocky Johnson. I was there to see Ric Flair. So, not very many people were there to see Rocky Johnson.
That's the first black tag team champion.
I know. And he actually was definitely really well spoken and had some good stories on that panel. But you know what I mean? Like, people were there to see Flair. People weren't there to see him.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're gonna have Flair somewhere. It's like, who would beat Flair? If it's the same, maybe Sting, Hogan, people like that.
Yeah. No, Flair was the big name that weekend. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go on.
Okay, well, next, I think it'd probably be a good time to talk about Triple H, since you brought him up. The entire Triple H has been doing the rounds out there, huh? The UK, going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he also joined the Shield.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but I really can't wait for Roman Reigns to come back, man. Like,
I know. Especially seeing that dive video.
It's like, I can't.
That video is hilarious.
I just can't. I'm just scared of who's going to be in the Shield next, you know? Like, hurry back, Roman.
I know, man.
You got 7 days to wait for Roman Reigns.
It's so weird, man. I'm going to share it for you guys. I'm sure you've seen it already, but just in case, this is Triple H in the Shield.
That video is just oh my God, so good. So good.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So yeah, I guess he's the replacement. He's working thanks to all of the things that went wrong. Could always rely on him to be a draw. He's getting big reactions out there. So it doesn't really surprise me. I've always said he's one of the best, man. Absolutely one of the best, biggest draws that there is. So
if you have an opportunity to see Triple H right now, see it, because he's at that like fine line that you don't know when his last match is going to be. He can decide tomorrow not to do it. Like, you need to go and see him because you do not know.
He's not going to retire anytime soon. Don't say that shit.
No, I don't want.
Yeah, he ain't going to.
I think he's going to be like Taker and do those manias for a while, but unless you're at WrestleMania, you don't know when he's going to come around to and if he's in your town or wherever, take the opportunity to go see him, because you do not know when that's, you know, it's not like he's going to have another roster run, like a full week traveling with house shows and stuff. Like, it's not very often you're going to see him around.
Yeah, you make a very good point there. So at the end of his Shield match, the fans started chanting. I don't know if you guys heard, they started chanting for WrestleMania.
Because I heard that.
Because obviously they want to have a WrestleMania out there. Like, who wouldn't? I don't think there's never been one out there, right?
No, the only thing they've ever had was that SummerSlam as far as a pay-per-view goes, I believe.
Yeah. No, they had a it was kind of like a pay-per-view there. What the fuck was it called? one night only, or I can't remember off the top of my head. But they've had a couple of things, but not. Yeah, it's been probably decades.
Insurrection? You think of Insurrection?
Man, that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty decent. So this was his reaction.
Look, let me just help you out. Help me out. Stop. There's only one guy that can make that decision for you. Unfortunately, he's not here. If you're loud enough, maybe he can hear you on the other side of the pond. Try it again.
If it were up to me, I'd give him WrestleMania.
Way to
Did you
put him
like
on
the
the
longer
spot.
version of that?
No, what was in the longer one?
Oh, they was chanting like WrestleMania and Triple. Like Seth Rollins is like, I can't answer that question, so he gives the mic to Triple H. He's like, "You guys want a show in Transylvania?"
So here's what I think about it being in England as far as in general, because they go there like once or twice a year, and because they're only there once or twice a year, that's why they get such a strong reaction like they do. And I mean, they travel around the States constantly. That's why they're not, I feel like fans almost, I mean, sometimes they don't always put out a good product, but I'm going to just use this term loosely, but almost take them for granted to say. So that's probably why they have such a strong reaction when they go to the UK and into that area. That being said, I heard a rumor they're coming to my part.
Of course they're coming there. They go to Canada.
Here, Toronto, 2018 or 2019. Fingers crossed.
That'll be awesome.
I hope so. I will be there. But I mean, and it's the same sort of idea when they do come here. I don't know if any come to mind, but if you watch during when they're in Toronto, when they're there for Raw, and actually it was not too long ago they were there for Raw and Smackdown. We go crazy for them too, because they do come probably a lot more often than they do to the UK and to Europe and whatnot, but it's not as often as obviously they come with you guys. So that's why they get such a strong reaction.
I think they tour over there in a total 4 times a year.
Is it that many times?
Well, after WrestleMania and before Survivor Series is the main roster. In June and December, I believe NXT goes and tours over there. So they get 4.
Oh, I didn't even think of the NXT crew. Okay.
You know, because they do the in the summer, they do the download festival over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So they go 4 times a year. In the past, it was always hard to do a pay-per-view over there because of start times and lining up because of the 5-hour time difference. But now with the network, you can do it, but you only have 1.5 million people on the network. So you're cutting out a lot of people for a main pay-per-view.
And these fans, they don't like the spoilers. They like to watch it live. And to ask them to get up at, 1 in the morning would be?
I mean, they have to do that for pay-per-views, like UFC pay-per-views and stuff as well. It's no different.
Yeah. I mean, what would happen is for it to start at the normal time over here, 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, they would have to start there at midnight.
Right.
You know, I mean, look at Wrestle Kingdom. Was that come on at 4 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard.
I'm excited for Wrestle Kingdom in January, but I am not getting up at 4 in the morning.
Oh, I watch it live every year. Fuck that.
Do you? How can you be excited about anything at 4 in the morning? Like anything. If someone was like, I got $1 million for you here, Bianca, and it's 4 in the morning, I'm like, okay, give it to me at like not 8 or 9.
This comes from the person who's been on a podcast at 4 in the morning, people.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Man, my boyfriend will tell you, like, I'm a bitch. I'm not sleeping. I'm one of those wimps. I can't handle it.
Oh,
I will definitely be watching it. Just by the time I wake up at my own accord.
I got work. I looked at the date.
Yeah.
The 4th is on a Thursday. There's no way.
Is that a Thursday? Oh, I'm gonna have to book off. I'm gonna have to book off the Friday then.
We used to do our own show, like our own post show for Wrestle Kingdom and for UFC. And there was this one Saturday that both of those motherfuckers will oversee. Obviously New Japan because they're in Japan, but UFC had something that was like in 3 p.m. And
that's when they were in Ireland. I remember that day.
And we did 2 post shows and it was crazy. Like I literally felt probably as close to a walker as you could feel. Because it was like literally just
damn.
Yeah, it was something. It was like having jet lag, like the days in reverse when you have to watch stuff overseas. So yeah, it would really be hard for them to do it if it was like flipping it the other way. But they could watch it on demand, like when it comes on later on, kind of like Bianca would do with Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they don't have to watch it live, but they have the option now. So it's good to have options.
I also say if you started over there at 8 o'clock at night, that would be 3 p.m. here on a Sunday. That wouldn't be too bad,
I prefer not to have a pay-per-view at 3 p.m. on a Sunday.
But
I don't like when WrestleMania is at 5 p.m. WrestleMania at 5 p.m. is a hassle because you have to be ready to sit and watch it like at 5 p.m. Your whole fucking Sunday is now cut in half. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. would be a nightmare.
But we would be done with it by 8 o'clock and we'd be like, all right, that's fine. Now we have the whole, but because otherwise we're going to like 1 a.m. and then we're going on the air. It's like, woo.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like stuff like WrestleMania is supposed to be a festive time. Like people usually want to drink and eat during it. Can you imagine starting 3 p.m. WrestleMania?
It's like Thanksgiving. You start early.
No. No one starts early on Thanksgiving. So Triple H also doing his rounds. He was on Good Morning Britain where they asked him about, once again, which everyone asked him about. They asked him about Ronda Rousey. They asked him about Conor McGregor and whether or not he thought that they would be able to be part of the company. This is what he had to say.
Conor McGregor, more recently, there's been rumors that Conor McGregor's going to WWE. Is that going to happen?
Well, Conor McGregor has said a lot of stuff about WWE in the past. I don't have a problem with it because he said I was a Don, which is, but he said a lot of stuff about our talent in the past. Conor McGregor comes in, it's not going to be an easy go.
Okay. Floyd Mayweather, will we ever see that happen?
You've seen Floyd Mayweather before. Floyd Mayweather, worked with the Big Show, fought the Big Show at WrestleMania on one of our grandest stages.
But he's officially retired from boxing now, and he still loves the showbiz. Is there a full-time place for him?
And a huge fan. You should promote.
Right.
It's phenomenal. You're giving me some wonderful. You mind if I write this down?
Charlotte and I just looking at each other going, Ben's just pulling these names out of thin air. He's making this up, right?
Ronda Rousey, let's talk about
Ronda Rousey, UFC champion. Is she going to...
She is very interested in our business, always has been a huge fan. That's where the Rowdy Ronda came from.
Yeah.
Huge fan. I think she's interested in the opportunity. I'm interested in offering her the opportunity. So we're just going to, we have some talking to do.
She's all but in at this point. Conor, maybe not, but Ronda's practically a wrestler, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that. Conor's, the money thing with Conor, a lot of people are on. I could see Conor coming in, making an appearance or something like a Floyd Mayweather did back at Mania or something. But Ronda, I could see doing this full time. I can't see Conor doing it full time.
Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully she's good at it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Jen? Ronda for WWE? You think it'll work up?
Yeah, I think it'll work out. I don't see why not. It'd be a safer option for her at this point.
Yeah, that's for fucking sure. She doesn't want to be about that life anymore.
No.
Yeah, she's done bouncing off the cages.
So Triple H also appeared on ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, in Wales. And he showed up with Pete Dunne. And they had a bit of an interesting segment. I don't know if you guys saw that yet. But for those that didn't,
that one yet.
Yeah, this was really cool. I'm going to actually... give this to you in the chat room. I'm also going to play a little bit of it on here.
I get to walk out here and hold up a WWE title. And you get to stand in here and you get to say that you're friends with the WWE, and that's pretty cool.
Yes! WWE and ICW setting up a chicken.
Well, I'm not your only friend.
That's right, I almost forgot. I've got lots of friends at the WWE. Triple H! Get on out here! What on earth? The game!
So like he said, it's good to have friends, right?
Absolutely.
A little bit busy right now. Just took a second to stop by here. We're just down the road, but I had to stop by. Want to bring the champ with us? But I just wanted to take a second to come here tonight to thank all you. Because the truth is, this is where our business starts. Every single night in a place like this, with guys like this, in a group like ICW.
To even hear him say those words, listen to this! The Welsh are known for being in great voice, and they certainly are tonight.
That's where it goes. ICW, Progress, places like that. That's where you see this stuff grow. It's where you see it start. It's where you see it boil up. Oh, feel free.
NXT, I think we've heard of it. Bring a little bit of sanity.
And I appreciate you guys supporting it. Whether you're here going nuts for this, and look, I heard a couple of you booing in the beginning when I mentioned it. I heard a couple of you looking for an ass whipping. But the truth is, this is where it starts, and we're all no different. We all love this business. I'm no different than every one of you. I started out just a fan, just loving this, thinking it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, man. And I'm just like this guy here, just like that guy there, and not really like him, but at all. Yeah.
Not even slightly.
But thank you guys. Thank you for supporting this. Thank you for being here for ICW. Continue to support this because it's going to continue to grow. The UK, England, guys like Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, we're going to light the world on fire. The UK, all of this, Europe, it's going to continue to flourish. We're going to make it bigger than it's ever been before. And this business, we're going to take to new heights. People think the WWE is the biggest. You ain't seen nothing yet. Thank you guys very much.
I thought that was cool of him.
Yeah. Didn't they have... Is that the same promotion that Mick Foley was supposed to go to, but then Finn Balor went to last year?
No, I don't know.
I think it might be.
Yeah, so they definitely have a working relationship with them, probably, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've known that from the start. But it's cool to hear him talk about the indies that way.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people get it. I think Triple H gets how it's supposed to be run. That's why NXT people like it a lot. And, did we play that drop a few weeks ago when they were talking about from Scott Hall about Triple H? I think we did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, where he said he gets it. He thinks Triple H gets it, and once he takes over the main roster, it's going to change a lot for the better.
He's right.
I believe that.
Yeah, Triple H. I mean, if you even look at the King of Kings documentary when he talks about how he went to different places and learned about different kinds of wrestling and stuff, like he definitely has a love for the business, dude. Like you're talking to like someone I've told you from day one. Like I'm a huge Triple H mark. Like he's one of like my absolute favorites of all time. And I've always said that he gets a lot of shit that he doesn't deserve, especially in the Stephanie aspect, because like I've said many times on here, he was WWE champion and he was over and he was already well established way before they even put her in the storyline. For people to say that, he made his career on her is simply not fair, because most people aren't even WWE champion once. Not only was he WWE champion, but he already made it to that tier where he was carrying the company. He was in like big high profile matches long before the Stephanie thing. What made the Stephanie feud special when they did the whole, if he beats Vince, he divorces, was the fact that it was Triple H. Like that feud couldn't work if it was like Val Venus or somebody, It needed to be a big profile name person in order for it to be the draw that it was. That was because of Triple H. No one knew who the fuck Stephanie was.
Nope. They just knew it was Vince's kid.
All they knew was about the burned bear with the Undertaker. That's as far as their knowledge of her ass went before that. And the shitty relationship with Tess. Andrew. Remember that when it was her?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I love you. I love you,
Kurt
Stephanie.
Angle.
Yeah, I love you, Steph.
I like the little cowboy hat, Curtis.
Oh God, the fucking cowboy.
Yeah, so I always say, Triple H is legendary, man. Like he's done a lot for the business that he doesn't get credit for, even before being part of the family.
Yeah,
I think it went because it's the shoe fit. That's what it really was. It's not like he manipulate his way to the top, and these other nonsense things that you hear. That's simply not so, you know?
Yeah.
I might not have loved his, the whole story is pretty messy how him and Steph and whatnot got together, but you can't deny the fact that he has such a passion for this business. He, WWE liked for the longest time, to discount what people were saying on Twitter, but I feel has taken notice and knows what the fans want. And you even heard when he was in the ring in England, where he said, you gotta scream louder for the big guy. He gets it. He knows what's going on. He knows what the fans are talking about. And the fact that he reached out and made an appearance in the indies, he knows that people are looking at other promotions other than WWE for entertainment at this point. He's well aware that, he can't be, or as much as they want to believe that they can't be the number one company forever, there's going to be competition. There's going to be the little guys out there, and he's on top of these things,
Yeah.
I respect it.
Same how Mikey says he also has the platinum shovel.
I don't know. I don't really agree with that. If you really look at anyone who's ever had a match with Triple H, it's been a good match. The only one that would be questionable as far as burial or whatever would be the Booker T situation. But aside from that, really, when you look at it, most people come out of a Triple H match all the better for it. So.
And he puts everybody over.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Have a good day, Hero. See you tomorrow night.
All right. Well, it's time to talk about another fun place. So the locker room this week has been cleared out significantly from what I'm reading here. I watched Bound for Glory, so we'll get to that.
Yeah,
But
I'd just like to apologize for my pulling a TNA early. I'm sorry about that.
no worries. You jumped the gun. You were overexcited. Some people finish early when they're excited,
Hey now.
So Rockstar Spud is gone as of a few weeks ago.
That's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Spud.
Farewell, Spud.
Fairly well, lapdog.
That's a big deal. Like I said before, that's like their AJ Styles now.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the only real originals that have left, would it be Storm and Abyss?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even count Storm. I would say it's Abyss because he never left, even for a minute.
Yeah, he's loyal as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, someone named Marsh Rocket. I don't even know who that is. He announced that he's gone from the company. Where are these guys coming from? They just hire whatever, right?
I guess. They're coming out of the woodwork now.
Brian Hebner, referee Brian Hebner, who's been there forever, took to Twitter and he also announced he wanted to let everyone know that he has asked and been granted his release from Impact Wrestling. Referee Robert Moore also asked for his release and is now done with Impact Wrestling. Referee Brian Stifler went on Twitter.
Wow.
And he said that he got to main event one last time. Thanks for granting his release. Big thanks to the locker room. Peace out. Earl Hebner has announced that he is also gone from Impact Wrestling. Leaving with his son Brian Hebner, he announced that he asked for his release and he's also done.
So they don't have any referees left.
I guess not.
I guess not. Holy crap, man.
I mean, the two Hebners and Stifler were like their main people. Yeah, that's crazy.
Did we mention it last week, or I'm not sure where I'd heard this, that they were looking for Canadian talent for to ref the matches now?
No, we definitely didn't mention it. Maybe they heard about it before we did, and that's why they left.
Why did you count the three differently than we do?
I don't.
Un, deux, trois.
It's Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's definitely a shock because they're not paying people from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that basically that's exactly what happened. They offered them much lower paydays than what they would normally receive, and then they all decided to leave. And they reached out to referee Jack Doan to work. I don't even remember. I watched Bound for Glory. I don't even remember if I saw Jack Doan. Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't pay attention to the refs.
I know the name. I can't place a face.
He was in WWE. He was like a white guy. It almost looked like a Charlie Brown-esque looking dude.
Okay, I'm going to just Google him real quick.
Yeah, I can't place his face to save my life, so.
But yeah, all of those guys are gone because TNA tried to lowball them, and as a result, they have no referees. So they're probably going to get local Canadian refs while they're there. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do as far as just for the long term. And we knew Eddie Kingston and Reno Scum were gone, right? And Taryn Terrell.
Yes.
Yes, we discussed them last week.
Okay.
Or the week before.
James Storm might be going. There's a rumor that he's going. Apparently his contract expires in January.
He's not going anywhere. He's got that battered wife syndrome. He'll stay there until the dying days.
So do you want to hear the full rundown of TNA people who have left in 2017?
Yep.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Do you have music to play behind it? Because you're looking like reading a list of chat room names after a while. That's going to be a long fucking list.
Yeah, that's true, right? I didn't think about that. I didn't prepare for this. Oh shit! What do we like? With a list like this, we can't go in naked.
Oh man!
Let me see.
So what song would we play?
The Keystone fucking Cops. That Chase music on the Benny Hill theme song.
Hell yes.
There we go.
I like it.
I like it.
Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Jeff Jarrett, Magnus, Cody Rhodes, Jim Cornette for one night, Davey Richards retired, Taryn Terrell, Angelina Love, Matt Morgan, Loki, Karen Jarrett, Swoggle, The Pope, Damian Sandow, Mia Yim, Drew Galloway, Rebby Hardy, Madison Rain, Al Snow, Reno Scum, Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis, Gabby Castrovinci, Crazy Steve, Eddie Kingston, Tyrus, Shane Helms, Aiden O'Shea, Marty Bell, Brandy Rhodes, Rockstar Spud, MJ Jenkins, Marsh Rocket, Robbie E., Jesse Goddard, Pat Kenny, Scott Steiner, Referee Earl Hebner, Referee Brian Hebner, Referee Robert King, and Brian Stifler.
Did you say Marty Bell?
Yes.
Okay. That's a list, man.
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen. Right, imagine that. Your TNA departure class of 2017.
And we still got 7 weeks left.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, what a list.
Did you say Dixie
man.
Carter?
No, Dixie actually did not make the list. Is she officially gone? Maybe she's still lurking in the shadows.
I don't know.
You know, she was seen hanging out with them, right?
I was just going to say there was a wild Dixie Carter caught on film.
Yeah, we're going to get that up for you guys in the Facebook page in a minute. But yeah, Dixie Carter was out there hanging out with the town. She took a picture with Rockstar Spud, James Storm, Jeremy Bolash, Bob Ryder, and John Gaburik. Maybe that's a foreshadowing of things to come.
Oh, no.
So as we mentioned before, Ricochet already turned them down. Whatever they offered him, he wasn't interested in any capacity. You really can't blame the guy, right? He knows, you know? He must have heard from other indie guys about how low the pay is before they even offered him, so that's why he knew where the deal was going. But yeah, they're going to be using a lot of Canadian talent, obviously, which is going to be a lot of the referees, ring announcers, because if they use Canadians, they get a tax break. You guys are a tax break, Bianca.
Yeah. And not to mention, too, our dollar is lower than yours. So say, I'm just pulling this out of my ass. $1 Canadian is like 85 cents, $1 American is probably approximately 85 cents Canadian. So it's cheaper too.
Yeah, look at that. We get a deal.
Yeah, and the picture is up of everybody in there. Dixie and the boys.
Dixie and the boys. That's hilarious.
That just sounds like an adult entertainment ready to go bad.
So the Valkyrie was not able to appear at Bound for Glory.
Shame.
She posted a video saying that she was disappointed that she wasn't able to make it and that she was sorry to her fans. And the reason why it was pulled was because she would have had trouble getting back into the U.S. after the tapings because she was born in Canada, but she has a permanent residency in the United States, and they didn't want to take the risk of her not being able to come back to the country. So they just decided to not have the match.
Wow.
Yeah, that border stuff is complicated.
So she's a Canadian citizen, but lives in the U.S., and so she's basically like on a work visa and didn't want to get stuck there. I gotcha. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta say it to yourself and out loud just to make it make sense.
When it comes to TNA, that might not work. You'd be here saying shit to yourself forever. You become one of those people that walks down the street and just fucking...
But how unprofessional is that they would not have like looked at that kind of stuff prior to their pay-per-view? Like, do they not know? What is she not going to come here to, like, what happens if they tape here permanently?
I mean, think about how many years we've been on here with this exact same thing happening to them. Are we really surprised at this point? This isn't even like the fourth time that this has happened with the borders in them. It's happened with Jeff also. Remember they had to write Jeff out of stories because of that?
Yeah.
And they didn't think about it until like at the last minute.
Yeah, he was like the world champ, and then they're like, oh, well, he can't go to England for the next 6 weeks. We got to write him off of TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Yeah, they should learn. But you figure, this happens every year, but we're right back there.
Yeah, they're doing what they can. Apparently, they're trying to work with Ring of Honor again as well.
Ring of Honor and Fight TV are not a happy, couple. They had a nasty breakup recently, did they not?
Yeah, because they tried to do a deal last year for the Hardys and the Young Bucks to have a match, but the Hardys wound up leaving Impact, and then basically they wound up sending Ring of Honor a legal letter due to the whole broken bullshit, and then Dish Network pulled the pay-per-view that had the match with the Hardys and the Young Bucks.
That's right.
So, as a result of all of that nonsense.
Yeah,
but Sanjay Dutt is very good friends with because remember Sanjay is part of Impact Creative, and he has a long friendship with Hunter Johnson, who, if you recall in Ring of Honor, he's Delirious, who's the head booker. So there's definitely a possibility that something will happen there. Not that I'm saying they should do anything with Impact, but just that it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I hope it doesn't work out because just stick the fork in them. Oh, man.
We've thought they were dead for years now. They're like the Michael Myers of wrestling companies.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Shit, man.
It's like this fucking life support cord stretches far. Like the fucking Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either, man. Like I said, it's a mess over there.
Yeah.
And apparently, they're told that they have to pay their own parking too.
What? They don't even fucking validate.
That's some shit right there, man.
Yeah, it is some shit.
Damn.
Yeah, there was like a thing online about them having to pay for their own parking. Ryan Satin wrote, he said that he heard from a few people that Impact Management is making talent pay for the parking in the arena next week. Not kidding. And then Chelsea Green, aka Laurel Van Ness, she basically said that's not true. And he said that, based on this response from Chelsea, maybe it's not all talent who have to pay for parking. If that's the case, it's just as odd. And then he put like up a little shrug. But
that is ridiculous.
That's bananas, man.
Yeah.
They should all carpool, come in a clown car, pay for one parking spot. I mean, the whole fucking thing is run like a circus. Why not pull up in a clown car?
Yeah, exactly.
For years, we've been saying that they're going to be gone, though, and they're just still somehow here. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So, they're actually debuting a new knockout next week. Her name is Tamara McNeil. She's pretty good looking, actually. We have a picture for you guys there.
Yep, posting it now.
She was Haney the Huntress in the Indies, and she was in Chikara. And she's worked in some of the Women of Honor matches in ROH and things of that nature. So now she'll have a contract with Impact, which, take it as for you will, is what you think that means. I mean, in my experience, you could wipe your ass with their contracts. It's almost more unstable than just being a random indie worker, right?
Yeah, it means that she'll be released after Christmas. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a drop waiting for you. My finger's on the button when you need it, sweetheart.
Got that shit on standby.
Yeah, right. Remember, because I'm going to go back and get this drop when we talk about it. So, apparently James Storm, which we said on here before, is going to be, or at least they're trying to decide if he's going to be the Hall of Fame person. I don't even know why it matters anymore. Their Hall of Fame doesn't even really mean anything. But
they'll get a broken watch or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And apparently their office employees could be unemployed soon because Ed Nordholm, the vice president of Anthem, he emailed staff telling them that they're going to be consolidating the Nashville office with the Anthem office that's located in Toronto. They didn't really give a timetable, but yeah, since they're going to be merging those two offices together, that means that a lot of employees that work in TNA offices or Impact offices are going to be fired. So get ready for that to happen.
Yeah, that's...
Merchandise orders are already not handled in-house from what I'm reading here on the sheets. So now you can add that to things not handled in-house. Office.
Well, wasn't that their offices in Nashville? It was like the warehouse and everything all in one like little corner.
I believe at one point their office was literally in the warehouse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like right next door to Don West. That's how they found them and resurfaced them. That's how he came back.
Maybe they'll just buy storage space and we'll just have all of Impact in the storage space.
Like a big shed. We'll take the 30 by 30.
Right?
Oh, shit.
They'll just come quietly in the middle of the night. Like all the wrestlers have to be really quiet. And if anyone asks, tell them that you're here to pick stuff up.
They're cutting holes in the fence like they're...
The cheapest rent of all, Impact Wrestling storage space.
Oh no!
They could fucking use that to like whip each other against like the gated part, get that good sound bump from it.
Go to the clearance section and get the willow umbrellas. The willow umbrellas.
So I'm reading here. There was a taping of Impact tonight, and do you know how many people were in the crowd? I want to guess. Let me hear you guys guess.
Well, how much does the place hold, first of all? Does it say?
Oh, it doesn't. Hold on, let me see if there's a... No, it doesn't...
612.
You're being generous.
56.
80.
There was roughly 100 people.
Oh, I was close. I said 80. 100 people.
You would win on The Price is Right.
Can you fucking imagine?
You win both showcases. And that includes the Don West waffle iron and the willow umbrella.
Oh, man. 100. It's weird because at first they said that they sold out Bound for Glory, but then later on we heard that there were still standing seats available. But they did pretty good over there.
Yeah, but that's a major pay-per-view, and like they'd been promoting that for quite a few weeks there. Like it's a, there's some sort of advertisement.
And it's in Canada, so it's like they still don't overstay their welcome. They need like a few more weeks.
Well, TNA, isn't that the WWE light? We'll go see Triple H, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Eh?
2 months later, get the fuck out, eh?
Please and thank you.
I'm sorry.
Please get the fuck out. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry we're kicking you out, but get the fuck out. Eh?
Get the fuck out of here.
Minnesota. Minnesota. They're like, oh,
it's going to be renamed.
Impact,
it's going to be renamed TNA.
TNA. Fucking hosers.
Oh my god, that's great. It's perfect. They should stay over there. I want to see what's gonna happen.
Me too.
I think that Americans are way more tolerant of bullshit. I don't think that's gonna fly in Canada very long, man.
Oh,
no, probably not. No.
They know they're wrestling out there. There's no, like, how are they, why did they even go there? You think you'd want to go somewhere else. Go to, like, Alaska.
Honestly, because Fight TV is based out of there. They moved them to their headquarters.
Oh, boy.
Because that's the majority owner.
They better
Fight
learn how to
Network,
have a good
dollar.
product.
We're a big wrestling like community, like us Canadians like our wrestling, You know, like it's actually kind of a smart move.
Bret Hart's the
does
prime
actually-
minister, eh?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Well, just when we think they run out of places to go, they always find another one. And now getting to the story from earlier, yes, they actually hired what's called Ottawa's Smith Casting, which is a casting agency. So basically they're paying people to go to TNA. And the tweet from the casting agency, it says, we are currently hiring paid background actors for the following. Must be Ottawa local, non-union only. And here's the tweet, just so that you guys will see it. I guess maybe when they hired these guys, they didn't expect them to publicly just say, hey, hiring actors for this TNA gig. That's how your casting agency that you hired does business. They just tweet out. Couldn't they just tweet out?
Yeah.
What's the point of having a casting agency if that's what their search method is? They just tweet out.
It's ridiculous.
How come we can't be a casting agency then? All we have to do is like ask them what they want and then tweet it out.
Yeah. We can do that.
Easy. Shit, we did that today.
Yeah.
So these are the instructions of the casting agency. Here's the form here. So you give them,
I was going to answer Mikey, but he asked what's the new link to the new knockout. It's actually on our Facebook page, Mikey, Talk Brunch on Facebook. It's a picture. We don't have a link to it. But actually, hold on. I'll get it for you.
Yeah. You could link them to directly to the Facebook link of it. But, okay. So this is what the instructions say here, the form. You give them your full name, your age, your phone number, email. You must be local, non-union only, non-speaking role. The filming dates are Tuesday, November 7th. Through Thursday, November 9th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. The pay rate's $12 an hour for 4 hours of work, $50 per day of work. Location is Aberdeen Pavilion, 1000 Exhibition Way, and the address and all that. Must have a parent and or guardian with them at all times. 50 to 75 audience members per day. All ages, all ethnicities. Bring friends and family. Applicants can work more than one day, so please mention if you're available to be hired for multiple days. Wardrobe, casual clothing, t-shirts, jeans, sweatshirts, weekend casual. You may be given signs to hold. You are encouraged to look at the wrestlers on impactwrestling.com and make your own signs. That would be very helpful. And you will get more FaceTime on TV. You get to sit in the audience and watch a thrilling night of wrestling provided to you by Impact. Each day of filming will be 4 hours long. So, if anybody has any aspirations of being an actor, you can start your acting career as a Impact Wrestling mark. And I mean, shit, if you could pretend to enjoy that, I think you pretty much have a good career.
You fucking win an Academy Award right then and there.
Oh, yeah, you know.
And for Best Actor, Scott Bonomo for Enjoying TNA Live.
Yeah, watch, you're going to beat out fucking Dustin Hoffman or some shit in votes if you're able to do that.
Right.
I'm like, look at this guy. This is a legend right here.
Same old Mikey says, what's my motivation?
Wow. So yeah, that doesn't look good.
You get paid $50 to go sit there, but then they give you a sign. You don't even have to buy oak tag and the markers, and then you get to watch a show. Who knows? You might sit next to a masked Paige.
And to add insult to injury, Matt Hardy has submitted for new information on the trademark. So he's trying again to take that trademark from them for the broken Matt gimmick.
I hope he gets it.
So we're going to see he hired a new lawyer and stuff. He lawyered up. He upgraded. Now's the time to strike while they're weak.
Yep. And in Canada.
I can't believe that this conversation is still happening with them. Like, I feel like it's been going on forever. I can't believe he still doesn't have that gimmick. It's crazy to me.
I still can't believe they released AJ Styles. Like, I'm way back.
Yeah, I mean, like, they did a lot of questionable things, no doubt. But I'm just, like, I feel like that was just at the peak or just at the beginning, maybe, when I joined the show with you guys. And I can't believe it's... Oh, yeah, it's still an issue. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And speaking of things that are still an issue, there have been more Paige photo leaks.
Okay. What do we got here?
A couple photos. A couple photos. Yeah. JoJo and Mickey James were also victims this time.
Oh.
Yeah, it was from the Fappening. And the JoJo ones were tasteful. Like, she kind of, does the hand over the boob, hand over the private part type deal, and a lot of more she shadowed out, just obscure ways. There's nothing detailed in those. And the Mickey James ones I thought were more uncomfortable, not because of any type of nudity to it, but although there is nudity, but it really looked like it was just her personal, like, pregnancy pictures and stuff, like just her nude selfies in the mirror, like, I guess when she was pregnant and afterwards and shit like that. So yeah, definitely a hack that they would have things like that. But the Paige ones, Scott, if you have them in front of you.
Yes, I do.
So what makes these interesting is that it's Woods. It's a screenshot of her phone, 2 screenshots of her phone. I guess she took a screenshot to show someone else, maybe another girlfriend or something, but it's basically Woods and her sexting.
Yeah, and the first one has a picture of her bending over, naked, and it says below that, I guess it's Woods saying, this cocky teasing thing isn't going to work. I'm gonna need to come over and blow a load all over your face tonight. Paige responds, well, I'll tell you like I'm telling Tyler. You couple of horny plotters. I like build-up, so this is hot for me. So give me this, and I'll let you be letting you destroy. Fair trade, even though I like the sound of a load in my face. And then the next screenshot, the top of it just says, then spread your ass. So am I. I may need to come over there tonight and fuck you. We can send him pics. And then it says, I'm sure he'd actually like that, with a picture of her ass crack hanging out of her jeans and then some guy in a towel. Yep.
Yeah. Thoughts, Bianca? I want to hear you first.
Yeah, I can't post those pictures. Sorry, guys.
No, we can't share
Yeah,
those.
sorry.
We can't share. We can just describe them to you, We have to, if you want, we'll point you in the right direction.
Girl, come on.
But most of the texting was on Woods' side in that, no?
Yeah. He said that he wants to go over there.
Blowing a load all over her face and all that shit.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, that's kind of hot.
Yeah, and then the part where he said he wants to come over and fuck her and take pictures, and then I'm assuming she's talking about Maddox when she said he'd probably like that.
Well, who's Tyler? Is that his real name?
I don't know. I've never looked him up, but I would assume it is, unless there's another person behind the scenes of this whole thing.
Well,
the plot thickens if it is another person.
You know what? Like, it's gonna make me sound like such a scumbag. So I've obviously seen some of these other photos and videos, but to me,
I'm sorry. His real name is Tyler Klutz.
Is it really?
Oh, it is. That is a man. Okay.
So that's who would have.
There's almost a part. I remember finding the Victoria video, and it was like for her husband and stuff. And there was a part of me that felt a little dirty watching it, because it was like, I'm not supposed to be seeing this. Like, this is not for me. Like, not because I'm seeing your privates, and not because I'm seeing your kind. It's because I'm literally reading or watching what is supposed to be between you and your husband or you and your boyfriend. But there's this element with Paige that it's just like, it was almost like she asks for this shit to be found or something. It just, I don't know, man.
It's the trend, Bianca. Amateur porn is the new pink pineapple.
And that's what I watch, is the amateur shit. So, yes, there's a need for it. And I know there's a want. A need and a want for this shit, but I just don't, I don't know. There's this element of me being just feeling dirty when it's, somebody's real personal business. Like nudes and all that. Like, I don't care about tits, but when she's fucking bent over and she's spreading her asshole, like, even me having the filthiest mind that I do, I have to put my hands and be like, whoa, okay, now, like, that's.
Well, look, as a friend, I'm going to do you a favor.
What's that?
If you come across anything that you think might be too dirty, send it to me and I'll check it first.
Can you do that for me? Could you be a good friend and do that for me?
I'll check all of the dirty stuff first, and I'll let you know thumbs up or
Rick,
thumbs
what
down.
would I do? What would I do without you?
Anything
man?
you find, any celebrities fucking, I'll check it first.
Okay.
I'll take one for the team, and I'll check first.
Did you remember him last week? Send him all the nudes.
Yeah, all the nudes. I have no issue. The only one I didn't like was I felt the Mickey James ones were a bit more intimate than any of the others.
But you know what I mean? That intimate feeling. Like before, there was like bathroom selfies and whatever, and even like the videos. It didn't bother me so much. But there's sometimes when they're for one person or whatever, it's just too much. I feel like a pervert. Like I'm not supposed to have seen this, am I? Like I just feel like
they should own it. That's my only problem. I don't care if they do it. I don't care if they get caught doing it. I care that they don't own it when they do. Like own it. Just be like whatever. And a lot of those girls did. Like, you don't really hear Victoria or anything crying the way Paige was.
Yeah. Oh. Well, yeah. I you know what? When we were talking about that DJ last week, I mentioned, like, I feel like I'm not a perfect person and I've done things in my life that I regret, but I still own it. Like, you own what you made that choice. And nor do I condone somebody hacking into their stuff. But that being said, as somebody with a fully functioning brain and understanding past behavior of how the trend of the internet works, I might not be taking nudes and letting my boyfriend jizz on my wrestling belt and filming it. Like, to me, common sense kind of should come into play.
Even if it was a TNA belt?
That's a different story. I mean, you could do worse with a TNA belt. Come on it.
Why not?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she did not deserve to be hacked. This was private. But I mean, past experience has shown these ladies that what can happen on the internet, I just don't think that was like the best decision on either of their part as far as, do I think they should be, in trouble or lose their jobs? Absolutely not. But you need to own it. You decided to do this, even knowing that sometimes you're taking, unfortunately, whether it's right or wrong, you're still taking a risk, but own it. You decided to do it. You knew that, that there is always that possibility that shit can get out there, especially when you're working in fucking media. Like, people will stab you in the back or people will try and get in your shit as much as possible. Own it. If you decide to do it. If not, if you don't want to own it, don't do it. That's all.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Completely agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hear Paige opened up a YouTube channel a few days ago. That might simply be to take some of the edge off of her first appearance being in front of a live crowd. I would assume, psychologically,
Yeah.
I thought we were going to see her tonight.
I'm hearing it's going to be a Smackdown thing, so maybe even tomorrow. But she tweeted thanking a lot of NXT people that have been helping her get in ring shape. She tweeted Mandy Rose, Nikki Cross, Ember Moon, Ruby Riott.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did too.
Yeah, and you're right. We are hearing that she's there's a high possibility that she's going to be on television. She tweeted and said, "Guys, why'd always get loud gum chewers next to me on flights?" And we know she's not with Del Rio because Del Rio actually was with TMZ, and they asked him about the Paige thing, which I'm going to link you guys to, and we have that right here.
Welcome, Mr. Wombat, to the chat room. Thanks for stopping by tonight.
Would you ever have any interest in trying to go back to WWE?
No, but he would like to fight in La Howla. He does want to fight Combat de America.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been thinking about it, about going back inside the cage, and if I'll do it, it will be, of course, with Combat Americas. I'm not interested in doing it with any other organization. WWE is just, I left that place, and I don't have any interest in going back. I'm completely happy in doing it. As you know, as you can see, we have fun in this place like 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I want, and I'm in the place where I want to be. So yes, if I do something, I will be inside the kitchen. Maybe I guess I cut both of my legs to be in the same weight division.
All right, now everyone wants to know though, is Paige going back to WWE?
She is. She's getting ready. She's in Orlando at the moment. She's been there for the last 6 weeks. And it's going to happen pretty soon. I cannot give you any more details because I will get her in trouble.
Right.
They told her to lay low and not talk too much about it, but she's just.
But it's a definite thing.
Definite, yeah. It's just she's days, weeks, probably days away from going back to WWE and do something in the ring.
What's going on with you guys? When are you guys getting married?
Well, that's a good question. She's like I just mentioned, she's going back to WWE. She's going to be doing a lot of stuff in the ring. The movie, they're about to release the movie, the movie with Dwayne The Rock about her family. I'm pretty busy right here with Combate and all the other commitments that I have around the world. So maybe next year. That's something that we need to discuss. But once we know, and
am I still invited?
You're invited.
I just want to get that on camera.
You're still the best man.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So well, I can't wait to see her back. For real.
Yeah, for sure. She's awesome. I have no issue.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, I don't judge what she did on a negative capacity. I judge how she reacted afterwards. I was a little disappointed she didn't just own it and be an anti-diva about it. I get that she was hurt and it was a traumatic thing, but at the end of the day, you gotta own it. And but
she's also what, like 22?
Yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but definitely. I mean, she's a great wrestler. She's a great talent, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely be welcome back. Give some shake-up to that division.
Yeah, so she'll be returning to WWE, and WWE at the same time will be at TNA, so that'll keep them busy and away from each other for a bit, right?
Yeah, maybe they'll get that breakup.
Yeah, this could be the best thing for both of them, to be perfectly honest. They're both busy and apart. Fuck. You can't kill each other that way.
Yeah. And speaking of, we're going to go over the Bound for Glory results, because I don't want to do them at the end when we talk about the other shows. But I'll be brief with this just to give you guys a sense of what Bound for Glory brought to the table there at WrestleMania. The first match was Trevor Lee, Desmond Xavier, Garza Jr., Sanjay Dutt, Matt Sydal, Petey Williams X Division Championship match, with the finish being Petey hitting Xavier with the Canadian Destroyer, but then Trevor Lee pushes him aside and steals the cover over Desmond Xavier. It was a lucha style match. There were no tags, but if you go outside of the ring, another person can come in your place. Yeah, it was pretty good. A couple of spots that stood out. Trevor Lee hitting Sanjay Dutt with a sit-out powerbomb from hell. All of it, Desmond Xavier's corkscrew moonsaults look really good. Next match was Tyson Ducks versus Taiji Ishimori, who's still there from Noah. Finish was Ishimori goes over with the 450. During the match, we had, what's the girl's name again? Laura Van Ness. That's the wedding girl, right?
Yeah.
We just had her randomly in the crowd doing stuff, being weird. And then Del Rio came back, and he gave quite the interesting promo. Have you heard anything about what Del Rio said when he went out there?
No, I'm actually shocked he even made it. Like, we're talking about border problems. I'm actually shocked that he was allowed in our country after all this shit.
Wait till you hear this promo. This was pretty interesting.
Do you want to know what this company, what those cowards hiding back there?
All right.
Do you want to know what these people, this company did to me? Hold on, Canada, hold on, let me tell you. Do you want to know what these perros did to me? They screw me. They betray me. Because they have no cojones, backstabbers in the back.
Oh, cut his mic. Yeah. Well.
And just because they decided to believe all the crap, to believe all the lies, instead of sticking to the facts and reading the reports. And the reports will tell you, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, but they still suspended me. They still stopped paying me. They took my title away from me.
He was stripped of the
championship. And now we
championship.
have a new champion, a paper champion, walking around like he's the big thing. But you, perro, you have to defeat the real champion right here. And people, I'm not talking about the reports from the fans, the internet. I'm talking reports, official reports from the authorities. But this place, they didn't care about my family. They didn't care about my 3 little babies. Stephanie, 3 years old, Sophie, 4 years old, and my son Joseph. They didn't care. You don't think my family had something to say? They did. Unlike that coward with no cojones, that loser who wanted to spread lies out there, stuff that never happened. And here comes the worst part. After proving them wrong, after showing them that El Patron didn't do absolutely anything, none of them called me. None of them text me. None of them.
Wow, I mean, he was emotional.
None of them came to my house to see if everything was okay. But I had the owner of this company calling me to say, Alberto, this was wrong. That was wrong. This is wrong. Wrong.
I mean, he's just venting here. I mean,
you want to know what's wrong? Impact Wrestling. And you people, you want to know what's wrong? What's wrong is what's going to happen tonight. What's wrong is what El Patron is about to do in this company tonight.
well, I mean, what?
This place is filled with cowards. This place is filled with losers. This place is filled with backstabbers. What's up, JB? What's up, mister? I never miss one day. ¿Qué pasó, mister? I've been here since day one. I thought we were friends. Answer me, maldito perro!
Oh, God. Listen, this is,
JB, where were you? Where were you 3 months ago? I don't remember you calling.
he's singling me out here for absolute... Josh?
It's uncomfortable.
I don't remember you texting me.
No, come on. No. This is stupid.
JB, answer the question. Did you ever call me? Speak, maldito gringo!
No, I didn't call or text. I apologize.
But you're still shaking my hand. I came to Canada with a plan. I came to Canada to make a statement.
Get security.
And JB, friend, I think I'm gonna start doing that statement. I'm gonna make that statement with you.
I think we should probably just talk about East of the Back.
Or maybe not. Amigos, Canada, this is Bound for Glory. And tonight is gonna be amazing.
All right, we're going to resume the program here tonight. I apologize for that. We are going to... Go ahead, Josh.
That was uncomfortable, to say the least. And what was he talking about? What he's going to do tonight?
Let's take a look at the Monsters Ball here tonight at Bound for Glory.
So that was his return speech.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It'll go over well with the executives.
Yeah.
Can't see any harm there.
Yeah, exactly. So then we have the Monsters Ball match, which is Abyss versus Grado, with Grado's visa on the line, apparently. And the finish was Abyss goes over with a very ugly black hole slam on Grado. For anyone who doesn't follow TNA, it's the Boss Man Slam. Or the hell did Barrett call it?
Well, it wasn't Wastelands. It was Winds of Change?
Yeah, probably Winds of Change. And it was on a plank of barbed wire. And the match was violent, you know. There was a cheese grater that got used on Grado's head, and then he winds up rubbing, he winds
cheese Grado.
Yeah, he winds up taking it and rubbing it across Abyss's crotch, so he basically grates his nuts. Grado winds up taking a bump from the top turnbuckle through a table that has barbed wire set up on the outside. He pushes Abyss onto a plank of coated barbed wire, and then he puts another one on top of him, making a sandwich, and then he splashes it. And then we have Laurel Van Ness, who comes out for some reason, and she hits a twist of fate. And then Rosemary comes out and winds up misting her, and then she winds up accidentally misting Abyss when she wanted to hit Grado, and then a blinded Abyss gives Rosemary a nasty choke slam onto thumbtacks. So yeah, pretty violent shit happened in this. Next match was EC3, James Storm and Eddie Edwards versus Texano, El Hijo de Fantasma, and Pagano, with the finish being EC3 hit Pagano with, and Texano with low blows, and then James Storm hit Pagano with a super kick and then covered him. And yeah, very lucha match, a very good lucha thing, as, Kalisto would say.
A lot of those guys were in, Lucha Underground, actually. Tisano and the other guy that you mentioned.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a AAA versus Impact Wrestling promotional match, cross-promotional match. And the craziest thing to me was that James Storm really did good in this. Like, for the style of match it was, he hits a lot of high spots for a guy his size. And EC3 winds up taking, Eddie Edwards, he winds up taking a cradle power driver on the opposite side of the ropes. So that's a pretty crazy spot there. And then we had the 5150 match, which was for the Impact Tag Team Championship, which was LAX versus OVE, which is Ohio versus everything. That's Sami Callihan's stable. Finished with Sami Callihan threw powder in Conan's eyes, and then tore Santana off the top rope through a ladder that was set up. And then, Ortiz took a power driver off the apron through a table. And then basically, pinned Ortiz for the win. And, yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy. It was more violent than Monsters Ball. You know, there was a bunch of crazy tables and chair bumps on here. They showed Santino Marella at ringside for whatever reason. I guess he was just there as a fan. Then we had, Sienna against Ali against Gail Kim in an ugly as fuck match. I don't know what went wrong here. They were very uncoordinated. Finish with Gail goes over with Eat the Feet. She goes over, I believe Sienna would Eat the Feet, but it was an ugly Eat the Feet. Like, it was weird. Like, I couldn't tell what she did at first. I had to rewind it. The spot just looked really bad. Like, just the way she hit the ground. You can go look at it. The match was just sloppy as hell. I don't know what went wrong here. Most of the stuff was just barely passable. Honestly, it wasn't anything too great. But Jimmy Jacobs showed up after this, and he was told that he doesn't work for Impact Wrestling, and he was like, "Oh, I don't? That's what you think." And since then, we found out that he's working behind the scenes. He was working behind the scenes as a producer for the pay-per-view, and he also is working as a producer for the upcoming Impact tapings. So, yeah, it looks like they got themselves a good old writer there. And then we have
Jericho loves him.
Yeah. He's solid, man. He's solid. So good for them. That's WWE's lost there. That's a mistake, because now you're giving them resources. So then we had Bobby Lashley and King Mo against Moose and Stephen Bonner in a steel cage, with the finish being Bobby Lashley going over, hitting the spear on Moose. Somehow King Mo got busted open in this. I'm not sure where. One of the high spots was Moose doing a top of the cage crossbody, and it was an okay match. I mean, again, this is their WrestleMania though. And then the main event was Eli Drake against Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Cuckold, whatever the fuck his name is. And the finish was basically Alberto pulling the referee out of the ring, and then Johnny Mundo winds up getting hit in the face with the title, thanks to Alberto Patron wielding that. And then he drags Eli Drake's body over Johnny Mundo. And then the ref regains consciousness from being down from something earlier, and there's a 3 count. That's it. The match had a lot of interference from Chris Masters, who's recently aligned himself with Eli Drake. And yeah, it was really nothing special about the match. It was okay. You know, there's not really much I could say about that.
That's another feud that's carrying over from Lucha Underground. Season 1 was Del Rio and Johnny Morrison. Yeah, because at the end of that one, they both put each other through like plate glass windows and whatnot.
Yeah, and there's still tickets available for all the other Impact stuff. They, again, even though they said they were sold out, they still had standing room tickets. These are
why buy a ticket? Apply for the job and get paid to go.
Yeah, so these are the first events booked under John Gaburik, Scott D'Amore, Sanjay Dutt, Jeremy Borash, and Abyss. And some of the wrestlers apparently were asked to renegotiate deals to take lesser money at the current set of tapings.
That's not good at all. If they're cutting back like that, yeah. And that's why all the reps left earlier, you said, right?
Yeah, they couldn't get the seamstress because I guess at the last minute they just decided not to bring her in. Maybe they said, fuck it, we'll save some more money there too.
Yep.
They didn't bring the full production team that handles the pre-tapes. There was a whole bunch of staff that wasn't able to get into Canada, including the merchandise driver.
Wow. I don't even know if they know what they're doing over there. Just cutting back on so much stuff, letting all these people go.
Yeah, after the show, Del Rio went back to saying best for business to fans that he walked past. What I'm reading here from the sheets. Fans seem to enjoy it, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
They said that the bathrooms were terrible for a crowd of that size.
Just like, I don't even want to know what those look like, eh?
Yeah, I don't even, ew.
And Moose tweeted, he said, for all the bloggers, reporters, haters that speak bad about Impact Wrestling, screw you guys. BFG was awesome. Absolutely proud of our roster. I don't know about awesome. I mean, it was a good enough show. But again, this is their WrestleMania. I want you guys to keep remembering Bound for Glory, how big of a deal it is for them, you know? And didn't there used to be a tournament before Bound for Glory?
Yeah, the BFG tournament where they would have, and then this would be the finals. Like,
yeah, they would do a tournament for like months with points and with ladders and shit, and then it would lead to the Bound for Glory. And this, they don't even do that anymore. It's just it's just a pay-per-view.
Yep. I used to love the Bound for Glory series when they, because they had like AJ, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Sting, Bully Ray, all those people were in it. Magnus, Matt Morgan, good matches all the time. RVD, they had great stuff.
Yeah, well, now you guys know what went down at Bound for Glory, which they went through a lot of trouble to put on. I don't know if you, based on what I told you, if you think that the effort was worth the execution.
I mean, it's hard to say based off of, not, a review, reading it or hearing it. Seeing the product is different, but I don't know if it was worth it or not. All the trouble they went through, moving it to Canada. They barely found a venue. Didn't they have like 5 venues booked before they finally settled on this one?
How long is it going to be until we get Bound for Glory in space?
You think they could afford a rocket ship?
Who knows? Maybe they'll just have it in the rocket ship and not have it take off.
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, Mr. Jericho, can we have Bound for Glory on your cruise next year?
Bound for Glory at Space Savers.
At Storage Wars.
Oh my God.
We open up this storage unit, after we bid it off and we find a 6-sided ring.
That'll be a new match, right? Like whatever storage unit you open, whoever's in there is who you fight.
Yep.
Why not, right?
Yeah. Do you want to take what's behind gate number 1 or gate number 2?
And they'll do just like that. What was that? Feast or Fire? Remember they used to do Feast or Fire? One briefcase you get fired, and it was Chavo that last time. They'll do the same thing with the storage space. Like you open the wrong one, and the briefcase is in there. Like, oh shit, you got fired.
Yeah. Oh, Death Magnetic. Matt Morgan. I don't know what he's doing now, but he returned to TNA for like a blip, and then they released him again earlier this year, and that was it. Haven't heard from him since then.
Well, that is your TNA news. We're not talking about them anymore tonight. So for some Cruiserweight news, we're hearing that Hideo Itami, they're thinking of putting him in the 205 Live, which at this point I think is a death sentence.
Do you? Because I think there's almost a part of me that likes that idea because it's another higher profile name making that show, helping that show grow. Like I wouldn't mind them building on that type of talent, building that show. I don't hate that idea. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't love that idea, but as someone as a fan and a fan of Cruiserweights, I think that it's not the worst idea.
It's not too bad. I mean, what else are you going to do with them? They're not going to give him the NXT title. Might as well put him over there so he could kick Enzo in the face a couple of dozen times.
His injuries really killed his momentum because they were trying to bring him in as a big deal.
I know. Yeah. He's really talented. It's too bad. I'm glad they've held on to him and not been jerks and let him go like they have those other people we were talking about earlier before. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him in 205 Live. I think it would be a good spot for him for sure.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. Depends on how you see 205 Live. Like Jack Gallagher was recently on Ring Rust Radio, and he brought up a good point about how it's more about elevating the division as a whole, which they haven't done yet.
I don't think it's about breaking away from the cruiserweight division. I think it's about elevating it in people's mindsets. I think the 205 show on the network is currently, I think fourth or third. It's one of the most watched shows on the network. In fact, it's probably higher watched than some other wrestling shows on the network as well. I think it's just overcoming the perception that people don't like cruiserweights, because I understand that's the narrative that goes around. Whereas what it actually is, we get a lot of positive feedback, both on social media and in person during WrestleMania Access. The amount of people that were big fans of the cruiserweights was startling to us. So for me, it's not escaping the division; it's about elevating them, because NXT went from a developmental system, which was considered a step down, to a completely separate brand unto itself, where people are stars and they sell out stadiums and they tour by themselves. In my head, I think if we all work, then 205 becomes good, the division becomes good, the division raises, and then there's more opportunities and there's more interesting things for everyone as well.
He's right. He builds it up. NXT took a couple of years to build up. It started where it was just available on the .com for a while, and then it went to the network. Once it hit the network is where it really took off, and even built up more after that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can do it. It's just not looking good currently.
But by putting better names in there, it definitely will help. Like a Tommy and not Enzo, because people know him, kids love him. So
yeah. I don't like him as he's definitely not on par with a lot of the talent that they have on there. But if you're almost literally using him as a mascot per se to get people to watch their show, and then they realize, oh my gosh, wow, they've actually got some talent on here. I support that decision for sure. And with people, if you're going to add, you've got Kalisto now, you've got Hideo Itami, and I mean, tonight, I don't know, I know we're going to touch on it on Raw, but Pete Dunne fought in a cruiserweight match. I like the people that they're adding as far as to elevate the division. I think that's a smart move.
That's only because they were in the UK, though. I don't think that
I know. I'm just wishful thinking that maybe we'll see him on 205 one day.
That wouldn't be bad. I mean, he is a cruiserweight.
No. Yeah, he is.
Is he really? Is he under 205?
He's
he's 205 on the dot.
Yeah, he hovers around from 200 to 205.
Yeah, they build him at 205 tonight.
That's why they call him the bruiserweight.
The bruiserweight.
Because he'll kick your ass as a cruiserweight. So, but we'll talk more about him later.
Yeah, but Kalisto was also doing some talking. He was a guest on CBS Sports, and that's what he said on cruiserweights.
I think it's great. I mean, at the time, when it first opened, I believe it was the best thing. I'm like, wow, these cruiserweights are going to display, like I always say, their art inside and outside the ring, meaning they're going to display the best of the best. And now, who knew that we were going to close down Monday Night Raw, and we've been headlining Monday Night Raw for 3 weeks. It's just surreal. I've never thought this was going to happen, but it's just happened. You know what I mean? So when we actually work hard and we put effort and we keep working hard, like all the cruiserweights and everybody else in the locker room does, things happen. It might take some time, it might take some hard work, but things do happen. And I saw my opportunity, and I saw the unfairness that was happening, and you know what? I just took a stand. I couldn't let this happen. I know and worked almost half the roster of the 205 Live, and I know them before WWE, and I know what they can do, and I know the new talent now, and it's just great. Everybody has talent. And now I believe 205 Live can take it to another level. Who knows? Maybe in the future who knows? We can probably headline a pay-per-view, a WWE pay-per-view. Who knows? anything's possible. So that's the thing about WWE that I love, that everything's full of surprises.
You guys are barely getting off the pre-show. Don't push headlining the pay-per-view. But no, he's right. Just keep building it. Keep trying to make it better. I think it'll eventually work.
I hope so, but I hope so. Just going to leave it at that.
I mean, part of it's like you said, you got to let them wrestle their style. You have to let them be different. The only thing, because right now they're just like WWE light, like, you know, heavyweight light heavyweights.
I don't know. I think the past couple weeks particularly, and they've let a few of them shine a bit. Like, it's been pretty good. I like Cedric's been like fucking killing it.
And Swan too.
Yeah. No, I'm on board, man. I'm not hating as much as I was. I was pretty pessimistic a few weeks back. Not sure if that show would even float on, but I don't know. I think that if it's steered in the right direction, bring a few well-known names.
I think if they wrestled the tag matches on the Lucha rules, it would be better.
I think that it would. I think that they have to give them definitely a little more leeway, a little more room to do their own thing. Like I agree with that sentiment of saying that it's like WWE light. It would be nice if they let them take risks, let them fucking do their own thing. I think, like, let them stand out on their own, like, as much as they can.
Yeah. Separate yourself. If you want to be separate, let them do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Roman Reigns, real quick, he was confirmed for return?
Yes, Michael
he
Cole
was.
said breaking news, Roman returns next week.
Okay, so I guess they finally cleared him of his mumps and everything. We will scrub him off of this injury road that we're about to go into. So, this isn't so much of an injury as it is an unfortunate discovery. But they were going to sign Io Shirai. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly. But basically, they found some sort of a heart problem with her. She was cleared by doctors in Japan, but the WWE doctors found something wrong with her heart and just basically advised them not to take her. So that's why she's not here.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucks. Big Cass, there were a couple of things. First of all, there was some audio released where he discussed his return and whether or not he would be able to... Well, basically, he discusses what the injury was like. Let's start there.
I popped it, so I tweaked it on the way out of the ring, and then it kind of curled under me when I landed on the floor. And I heard it pop, I felt it pop, and I immediately knew that I tore my ACL. My brain told me, you just tore your ACL. Just from everything I've heard and everything I've seen, read about ACL tears, I knew right away. So then I tried getting up and getting back in the ring, and kind of couldn't really walk on it, but I slid back in the ring and continued, and the ref even checked on me because he knew something was up, and I told him I think I can go, I think I can finish the match. So, I knew my knee was torn, but I thought, your first instinct is always you got to keep going, and if you could possibly go. So I'm walking, I'm obviously visibly hurt, like I'm hobbling, and I slammed Enzo to the ground, and then I went for an elbow off my left leg because I always do the elbow off my left leg, and my leg just gave out. And the ref came over to me and said, roll out, get out of the ring. So it was just, it's very frustrating when your brain is telling you to do something, your body just won't let you. That's the most frustrating thing. But I knew right away when I was on the floor that I tore my ACL just because of everything I've heard and read. I knew right away. I'm doing good, just in the process of recovering right now from an ACL injury. Kind of just have a lot of time to myself, but I'm doing really good, and I'm on schedule to come back when the doctors think I'll be back. So just rehabbing every day and trying to get back as soon as possible.
And in an update to that, he appeared on the Sam Roberts podcast, which I linked you guys to the full episode in the chat room, and it's available on our social media. But gave a little bit more insight on how he's doing with his recovery and what's going to happen as far as his return.
So pretty much I'm rehabbing twice a day, and then I'm training with Rob McIntyre, that's John Cena's trainer, getting back in shape, lifting-wise, and then kind of just hanging around the house, fantasy football, and brushing up on my Spanish, so when I come back I'll be a little better at Spanish. I took 4 semesters in college, and I was after that fourth semester, I was pretty good, but I haven't had any practice since, so just going back and trying to brush up on it and trying to get good at it again. I'm right on schedule from what the surgeon said, so should be shortly after WrestleMania.
So that's still a pretty long road to recovery, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that's I'll put on par for ACL. It's 9 months. He's been out for about 2. It was right after SummerSlam, was it not? The night after?
Yeah.
Yeah, so August to April is about 9 months, yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
They're going to have to just repackage him. Now's a good time to work on repackaging the guy.
Oh, yeah. There's more on that, like it's going through the podcast that he picks up, and he's writing down. He said he was writing down ideas for when he comes back. So he wants to come back and make a huge impact like right away. And he's got lists of people he wants to fight and some lists of people he wants to fight and ideas for creative.
Nice.
So he's working on it. So he definitely wants to do something when he comes back. He's not being just sitting there. And thank you, DMoney0816, for the follow. Appreciate the love. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So Big Show, he also went on Twitter because he's recovering from surgery, and he completed his first 1 mile walk since the surgery. So good for him.
All right, WWE fans, here we are. My man Fernando.
What's up, guys?
What? Say hello.
What's up, guys?
There you go. 27 days after surgery, I just did my first 1 mile walk. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you've had pretty intensive hip surgery, walking a mile is a pretty damn sweet thing. Thank you all for the support.
Good for him. Yeah. So R-Truth, he went on Instagram about a week ago because he had some surgery on his left arm, and he tweeted a picture just showing his recovery. So I'm gonna get that for you guys in the chat rooms. So many people injured. Sheesh. There you go. Ric Flair was on Busted Open Radio. We're gonna share the whole episode in the chat, but he basically just spoke about how close he was to dying.
We're good. How are you doing with everything that we've heard over the last few months and with your health? I mean, how are you, Rick?
Well, I'm better. Gosh, I've had 10 days of life support, brother. Will wake anybody up, and I'm just lucky I'm here. I kind of take each day. I don't take anything for granted anymore. I mean, he gave me a 20% chance of living, and somehow I made it through it. But God, when I got out, I only weighed 206 pounds. I lost 43 pounds, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't twist the top off a Gatorade bottle. So I had to go over to rehab and learn how. I mean, I could stand on my legs, but I couldn't walk. Does that make sense? So I had to go over to a rehab place for 20 days, a physical rehab where they make you, walk with a walker, then a cane, and then learn how to walk by yourself. It took a while, and then I couldn't drive a car, and then I ate everything in the world, but couldn't gain any weight because all the food I was consuming was going towards. These are words that I've been told, but it's not the way I would know this. We're going to repair internal tissue that was ruined, Because when I went to the hospital, my kidneys failed, I had respiratory heart failure and pneumonia all at the same time. So it was, brother, I don't drink anymore, and I know he was fully raising them. I couldn't believe it. We aired my 30 for 30 here last night in Atlanta, and Taker, everybody was there. Hey, I don't drink. The doctor told me that if I ever had a drink again, you might not feel like I wouldn't make it through another operation like that. So my body looks like I sat on a grenade. like I covered a grenade to save people's lives. The scar on my stomach, man. Wow. So yeah, I'm back. I feel good. I weigh 220 now. So and everything's normal. I have to go to the doctor every other week, and but I mean, I'm just everything's great. I mean, last night I saw all the guys. They aired my 30 for 30 last night at a premiere in Atlanta. They did one in New York on Wednesday, and then they showed NXT today. And there's one in Minneapolis tonight. So then it airs, live on the 7th of November. So just doing PR with that, and telling my book with my daughter, our book with my daughter, and just relaxing, guys. I don't do much. I'm actually watching Netflix because there's enough stuff. I can't work out or anything yet. I still can't. This pacemaker takes a long time to heal, and I'm not allowed to do push-ups or anything with my left arm. So I'm just kind of. I can dress myself and all that, but I mean, as far as lifting weights and stuff like that, nothing for another probably month. So just a different way of life. Not used to living like this, and I'm certainly not used to not having a drink by 3 o'clock. Are you kidding me?
Dude said he has to go to the doctor every other week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for what he went through, going every other week is not bad at all. I mean, his kidneys failed, so that would be like dialysis. That's like 3 times a week normally. Some respiratory heart failure, like on life support. Man, he's lucky he's going every other week and not like twice, 3 times a week.
Yeah,
really.
We thought he was gonna we weren't gonna have him here, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
And he did mention that 30 for 30 that premieres later on this evening. Technically, it's the 7th.
Yeah. And Sin Cara, as you guys probably saw the video, he had some sort of an injury. He was in a triple threat match with Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. I'm not sure what the hell went on. I have the clip for you guys, but it turned out to not be that serious. So WWE dodged the bullet because they just started pushing him. That would have been a disaster. But for anyone that didn't see, here's the injury. It's really weird. It looks like he pulls down the top ropes and then he just, I don't know what the hell happened there.
I think somebody grabbed his hand or put their hand over that or ran over his hand or something. It looked like.
Yeah. Well, there it is. You guys determine. It might be that you're right. They grabbed his hand or it bent it the wrong way or just something strange happened there. But it turns out that he's gonna be fine. Or at least that's what I'm hearing. That it's not that bad.
That's good.
Yeah, because you don't want to ruin a push. Literally, now this is gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it for injuries, right?
Have not heard of any other ones, so yeah. And if you notice, it was all WWE again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, of course. And apparently the reason why they're pushing Sin Cara is because he just got a multi-year contract with WWE. So he's going to be around a lot more. So they want to get their money's worth. And they also started a new line of Sin Cara sneakers called Sneakaras.
No, they didn't.
They're not called Sneakaras, but they did start a new line of sneakers. I'll link it to you.
I was going to say, what the?
I'll link them in the chat. Yeah, those are the new Sneakaras.
Oh
my God! Really?
Los tennis aficionados. Tennis officials. Wow.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, that's not racist at all.
The tongue of the shoe looks like it has a WWE ice cream pop on it.
It does.
But they also did a deal with Foot Locker for some Eddie stuff. I think I recently read too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well,
some Eddie t-shirts and shoes or whatnot.
It would look bad if he had sneakers and was injured, so I'm glad he's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a weird story. We don't normally cover stuff like this here, but this came up. You might have already heard. So Puff Daddy decided he's going to rename himself again.
I just read about this like a couple minutes ago, actually.
I'm going to link you in the chat room to...
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, wait till you hear this, though. I mean, it gets worse than just the fact that he's going to rename himself, if that's even possible.
I've been praying on this, and I decided... I know it was risky because I knew it could come off as corny to some people. Like, yo, I decided to change my name again. I'm just not who I am before. I'm something different. So my new name is Love, a.k.a. Brother Love. I will not be answering to Puffy, Diddy, Puff Daddy, or any of my other monikers, but Love or Brother Love, okay? It's my birthday. I feel good. God is the greatest. I give all glory, and I thank my mama and daddy. Mwah!
What a fucking moron.
Oh, my. Oh, it gets better. Trust me. It gets better.
I don't know if it gets better. He's Brother Love now. What else is there?
I love you.
Does he come out in the suit?
I think I'm going to try and find I'm pretty sure I saw a Photoshop of that already done.
Oh, my God. What the fuck just happened there? It's weird how that whole thing was just strange. He sort of reminds me of that kid Jalen who tried to turn Super Saiyan on YouTube. You ever seen him? And he was like, "This is what I believe from my heart. I believe anyone could turn Super Saiyan." And he's going, "Oh," and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like just the way he was saying it, like he prayed on this, and that's what God told you, that you need to be Brother Love. That's what God said.
Oh, did you read what Bruce Pritchard said?
No, what did he say?
He goes, "Yo, find a new gimmick. I invented and perfected Brother Love. I am the original and you are not. Remember, North Carolina."
Oh my God.
Can I hashtag this what the fuck, like WTF?
That is strange. Yeah, you should, because that's
yes, please.
Oh boy. So, final story before we cover cover the week in wrestling here. So this Miz thing, this whole Miz Baron Corbin thing, obviously this is a work shoot. But have you guys been keeping up with them back and forth on Twitter?
I heard it's getting kind of nasty, actually.
Is it? No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's a work shoot, but it's just interesting the way it's gone, just the tone of it. But yeah, so first Baron Corbin talks about the invasion that's happened recently.
I came into your house, kicked down your door, and ran over your little Raw superstars like nothing. There's a reason I'm the United States champion, and tomorrow I'm going back to the #1 show, Smackdown Live, and I'm going to continue to do what I do best and run people over. I've got a little bit of advice for you. Come Survivor Series, you should just stay home and keep playing dress up with your little wife.
Well,
that was mean.
Yeah, well, he supposedly also said something that at the Survivor, he mentioned something about his unborn child. Miz was saying at the opening of Raw, and then that Baron Corbin said after Survivor Series, "I'll be your daddy." What?
Yeah. There's more. There's definitely more, because after that, the Miz replies to Corbin.
Baron Corbin, I just got your message. I've been really busy this week, but I gotta say, it's the best promo I've ever seen you cut. It's amazing because when I cut my best promos, it's in front of thousands in attendance and millions watching at home on a big camera in a WWE ring, while your best promo is on an iPhone on social media. So listen up, Twitter tough guy. This isn't about Raw and SmackDown supremacy for me. This is about making the Intercontinental Championship the most prestigious and honorable title in all the WWE. I bust my ass day in and day out to make that title relevant, while the United States Championship is working overtime to make its holder relevant. See, I've heard all about you in the WWE ring, how talented you are, but to me, you're just another generic big man who will be gone in 2 years while I'm carrying this show for the next 10. And if you ever talk about my pregnant wife again, I'll knock your teeth down your throat.
Yeah.
Well, that was... Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So then, most recently, Corbin apologizes to The Miz.
Miz, I saw what you said, man, and I want to apologize. I didn't need to bring your wife into this. I didn't realize how touchy of a subject it would be for you, but I understand it. I understand that when you have to live in the shadow of someone like her, or you need her to protect you from the big bad bullies in the world, and now she's sitting at home, that's hard. I understand that, so I apologize. And you talked about relevance and making your championship the most relevant thing, and when someone like your wife is begged to come out of retirement to make you and your career relevant again, I understand your anger and your frustration, so I apologize. I also want to tell you congratulations. a baby girl, man, that's a great thing. And it's going to be such a cool experience the first time she looks up at you and calls you daddy. Just like at Survivor Series, when I beat you into nothing and you look up and you call me daddy.
Oh, well. Damn.
Yeah, right. What's that all about? Well, anyway, that's enough news for now. Let's talk about what the hell has happened this past week. So when we last left off in the chat room last week on Tuesday, there was the Halloween Smackdown, which I'm just going to run some quick results. Not going to spend here all night, watch the damn things. But we had, there were highlights of it where Ziggler had his match against Bobby Roode, where Ziggler, ultimately Roode winds up going over with the glorious DDT. Good enough match, you know. Rusev tells the New Day that Halloween is a dumb holiday. And, ironically, we have Kofi, who's dressed for Halloween as Brother Love. Woods, who's dressed as the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And Big E, who's Hakeem the African Dream. And it's actually played by an African now. Never would have expected that.
That was so awesome.
And then on the other hand, we have Rusev, who sings about, Aiden English, who sings about it being Rusev Day. And he takes some candy and he stomps it on the floor. One of the other matches was Big E against Rusev, and in the middle of the match, English starts singing about Rusev Day, and then Woods winds up playing Francesca in order to counter it, and English winds up attacking him, and then the violence from the outside spills into the ring, so Big E winds up nailing English with a big ending, but in the chaos, he gets a Rusev super kick for the finish. We had Sin Cara against Baron Corbin, where Sin Cara gives Corbin a thug ass whipping. Like, he just beats him all over the announce table. He beats him badly.
It was an ass whooping, I'll say that. It was like when Stewie was going after Brian for when he owed him money.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, whew.
There was a Fashion Files segment. At the end of it, we learned the reveal that the Bludgeon Brothers were the ones that were attacking Breezango.
Yeah, because apparently they're going to do a Saw one probably later on today because it says let the games begin.
Don't you think Saw's a little bit dark for the Fashion Files?
That's what I thought whenever I first saw like the little face pop up on the screen. I was like, wait a minute, if you're gonna go like Saw, that's kind of going a little bit dark, but hey, whatever works.
All right, what else happened on SmackDown?
Well, there was Owens versus Nakamura.
That was
to be on
event.
Team SmackDown. That's about it.
Yeah, before we go to that though, one thing that I wanted to, first of all, the Fashion Files thing, Stranger Things was what they did this week. I'm gonna share that to you guys here. Okay, the other thing I wanted to share was Bludgeon Brothers. We have a new pic of them. Can you get that up for us, Scott?
On it right now.
Yeah, now you guys can see what the new attire is to the Bludgeon Brothers. Ooh. Something else. And also their music. Have you heard their music?
No.
Oh God. How bad is it?
It sounds a little Super Mario-esque. No, I'm kidding. Okay, here we go. What do you think?
I think it sounds like the beginning of Daredevil, and that's what they look like. I mean, honestly, I don't like the outfits at all.
I saw a picture of the outfits, and I was like,
the red and black.
What?
Yeah, I'm not feeling this gimmick. They should have just... They could have been so much more than this.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, if they would have left the Wyatt family alone or pushed them properly to begin with, they could have been so much better.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
To me, it's still in like that Wyatt family, like they're not. They definitely look like they haven't showered. Definitely, like it's They're not, it's not much different. I mean, besides Bray leading the pack, like I don't think it's that different. On their own, they would flounder like fish out of the water. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, like why was the focus new music, right?
Yeah. And Luke Harper's got a clean shirt on. It's not Luke.
Well, he started cleaning up a little bit previously, didn't he?
Yeah, whenever he was wearing his black tank top.
I wore my black one, so you just can't see the dirt.
Yeah.
No, you could like literally see the sweat outline before, like they made it look like it was, or I don't know if it was water or whatever, but it was disgusting. Like I'm sure on purpose.
But it was still nasty, though.
Yeah, it was still gross.
Next, we had Shane announcing himself as the team captain of Survivor Series. No shocks or surprises there. AJ Styles went over one of the Singh brothers with the Styles Clash. Immediately following the coverage, Jinder ambushes him, beats him senseless in the ring, hits him with the Colossus twice. So there's some heat for that feud. And then we had Nakamura against Owens with Owens at one point orders Zayn to clear the announce table so that he could put Nakamura through it, but Orton comes out and he gives Zayn the same table bump again. That's 2 weeks in a row where fucking Zayn takes the same table bump. Yeah, so, but what a lot of people didn't notice, which I called it, I said in the chat as soon as it happens, is that when Zayn went to take the announce table, take the top off the announce table, he throws it and it hits a fan in the face.
Did it?
I saw that.
It's kind of stunned for a second, like, ow, it got me in the face. And then he was kind of like wobbling a little bit. Then they ended up having to walk him
Yeah,
out.
if you look carefully while the fight's going on, you see him still holding his face and they're walking him up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw it when it first happened. I don't know, there's a clip of it, but I don't know if it'll take it that far. You'll probably just see the bump here. But here's a clip of what was going on.
Yeah, I had to rewind it a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, it smacked that dude right in the face.
Yeah, right in the damn face, man. That's what it is, casualties of war. Mm-hmm. We fought on Tuesday nights, as JBL used to say. It was Friday nights.
Yeah, it clipped him right in the grill.
Yeah, well, in the chaos, Nakamura beats Owens via Kinshasa to go to Survivor Series. And post-fight, Nakamura had some words as far as what his win meant.
Shinsuke, a victory for you here tonight over Kevin Owens means you are now on Team Blue at Survivor Series. Tell me, how are you feeling after that victory?
Oh, such an honor to be in Team Blue. Last week, we surprised them as well. But Survivor Series, when beat them, it's not surprise. It's true. It's damn true.
What?
What?
I only understood half of that.
All you understood was SmackDown Live. It's true. It's damn true.
I don't even understand half of that. Like,
I think
what?
that's all you needed to know. That's the only thing that really made sense.
Oh, Nakamura.
So, 205 Live had Gulak against Tozawa, with the finish being Tozawa going over with the senton. It had Brian Kendrick accompanied by Jack Gallagher with against Rich Swann doing a Doink the Clown gimmick. The finish was Swann countering sliced bread into a super kick, and then he hits his Phoenix Splash. But he hit him a little hard with a little bit of knees in that bump, so gotta be careful for those bumps. And then we had Arya Daivari, Tony Nese, Mustafa Ali, and Grand Metalik in a fatal four-way Halloween match type deal. Finish being Mustafa Ali goes over Tony Nese with a flying broomstick leg drop. The whole thing was just crazy. It opens with Mustafa offering everyone candy. Nese won't eat any because of his abs, and a bunch of crazy nonsense with pumpkins and skeletons and candy corn, striped candlesticks, and Tony Nese even takes a bump through a candy corn lace table. You know, typical Halloween shit. They figured SmackDown's too good for it now, but now they have a recycle bin to throw their shit in. So they said, hey, let's put it on 205 Live.
Literally the same match the Club and Rhino and Slater had the night before on Raw.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that was that. They also announced that Enzo will defend his title against Kalisto.
Yep.
So get ready for that, because that's Survivor Series. It was going to be a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match with all the cruiserweights, but instead they decided they're going to do this, which to me is a direct indication that Enzo will retain, because if this was a toss-up, then that means the title was never on the line in the first place.
Yeah, I have a feeling this will be your pre-show match.
Probably.
Your royalty check-free match.
Yeah. And then, just quick results for anyone who cares. Main event had Jason Jordan versus Chad Hawkins, with Jordan going over via pop-up neckbreaker. It had Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese, finish being Cedric going over with the lumbar check. And tomorrow on SmackDown, apparently it's sold out because they're in Manchester, England, 14,000 tickets. The Usos are going to defend their titles against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Jinder Mahal's going to defend his title against AJ Styles. And originally what was going to happen was AJ was going to be facing Rusev, because if you guys recall, that's what the scheduled match was they went off the air with. But we're hearing rumors that Jinder might be hurt and they need to get the title off of him. We're hearing a possibility that they just want AJ Styles to be the champion going in, because that would be a better champion versus champion match than Jinder versus Brock Lesnar, which it 100% would be. You know, maybe they realize it's not too late to save this feud. I don't really know what's going to happen. But
as much as I'd like to, I think that AJ Styles is far beyond a much better wrestler than Jinder Mahal is. For me to mentally picture Brock and AJ Styles fighting each other is weird. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be entertaining. It's just I don't know how that'll play out.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's a weird matchup. Oh.
I was only looking forward to the Brock Jinder match to watch Jinder get his ass beat.
That's almost that's almost how we've been set up for all these Brock matches. Is you usually think they're just going to be like just beatings, and AJ would be a bit of a competition, I guess. I don't know.
But the thing is, a lot of people aren't going to care about that match. It's like if they put AJ Styles, it's more of a pay-per-view. Jinder's not pay-per-view material. He's barely Raw material, you know? And it's like they're putting him in Survivor Series. You have to think about that. Like they're putting Jinder Mahal in Survivor Series against Brock Lesnar. They're going to kill Survivor Series. This is really dangerous. You know, they're getting low ratings on Tuesdays. A lot of that has to do with that. They may be retconning this and just having AJ Styles at the last minute to fix this.
I could see that.
You know, but before this happened, Rusev was going to face AJ Styles. Apparently that's not going to happen now. But they already had a post. They already did some sort of a post-match thing about what he felt like about having to face him.
Well, Hacksworth said he heard Jinder failed a drug test.
That'll be interesting if that's what it was, right? I mean, after all the times you guys accuse him being roided up.
Backney boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even a Bollywood to Backney. Yeah. I mean, didn't you throw the Singh brothers back on 205 Live when they're done with this gimmick?
No, I don't know. I don't know what you would do with them. Rumor going around that they're planning a double turn for Rusev and Ty Dillinger. And Meltzer apparently said that they tested the double turn during a live event and rally, and the crowd went with it. So
nice.
I don't know. I guess they want to make a babyface Rusev.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. That's SmackDown. That's everything SmackDown 205 Live main event related that happened this week. NXT. What's been going on in NXT where we haven't been there for a while, right?
Yeah, we had 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll just do some results. Only Larkin and Danny Burch against Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss. Finish being the beefy guys go over with the gory special, running Bulldog combo on Larkin. And, yeah, good match. You know, I know you guys love Only Larkin. When I look on our Facebook page, it says other things liked by people who like this page, Only Larkin. How funny is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta give him some props. I mean, from when we first saw him and made fun of him that match, he's come a long way and he's actually pretty decent.
Yeah. The match starts with only giving Moss a knife edge chop that was like a sound that bounced off of the walls. Burch also got a good piece of Sabatelli as well. The momentum shift when they isolate Burch into the aggressive corner. Overall, it was good though. I like Lorcan a lot, but him getting the hot tag and taking on both these guys, pushing them back with the knife edge chops, it's a little bit hard to swallow. But aside from that, I really like the Lorcan's blockbuster on Sabatelli. Like I said, good stuff. Definitely good. We had a women's battle royal for the 4th spot in the NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way. Lots of people in here. Candice LeRae, Vanessa Bourne, Bianca Belair, Sage Beckett. The Aussies were here. Nikki Cross, came out with a badass intro because they're definitely pushing her. Mercedes Martinez and a whole bunch of her buddies and everyone was out there. Nikki Cross eliminated, I believe she eliminated Mercedes Martinez. Actually, no, she eliminated that girl. What's the name of the girl that aligned herself with the Undisputed Era for that 1 week?
Tiamara Conti?
Yeah, Conti.
Yeah, she eliminated her. But then she basically pulls Cross out from underneath, winds up wind up getting rid of her. That spot where Bianca Belair uses Zeta as a weapon and knocks Rhea Ripley off of the apron, and then she spears Zeta through the middle rope, causing her to fly out and inadvertently crossbody Rhea. That was dope. I told you guys that girl was good. Like, she's really good. Sage Beckett eliminated Dakota Kai. Nikki Cross crossbodied everyone in the ring. Then Cross gets a hot tag and basically goes on an eliminating frenzy, getting rid of most of the girls that they don't give a crap about. Bianca Belair military press slams Candice on the outside onto some of the other eliminated girls. Also Belair winds up whipping Billie Kay with her hair, and these are nasty. They sounded like slave slashes, man, when she was hitting her with that shit. It was incredible.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, Mercedes gets into a nice exchange with her, and she gets some really nasty strikes in there, and then Nikki Cross winds up eliminating them both, and then Billie Kay, and then we have Ember Moon, who winds up taking the whole thing, I believe, right?
Cross was the one that
won.
won.
I'm sorry, actually
it was Cross.
It was Cross who eliminates Ember Moon, who's on the top about to do her eclipse, and then gets pushed off. Right, okay. Sorry, it's 2 weeks. Give me a break here. Bianca didn't want to remember the freaking thing that happened 4 days ago. So give me a break. So 2 weeks. Aleister Black comes out. This I remember because I watched it twice because it was so fucking funny. So Velveteen Dream rises out of the mist of Aleister Black like a fucking psycho. And that one points for me, just the way he rolls out behind him like, here I am. And he winds up tying him up on the ropes. He slaps him a few times, demanding that he says his name. Black frees himself, and then the Dream barely dodges the black mask, and he winds up retreating up the ramp. So he could be a good. I mean, I'm starting to like this Velveteen stuff because it's so weird, you know.
No.
Yeah, I agree with Scott. No.
I knew you were going to be on board. I knew you were
I'm not on board with it. I'm not sure where this shit's going.
Patrick Clark will always have one memory for me, and that's when Jen said people thought he was Jason Jordan.
Oh, man.
I know I've mentioned that a few times, but that's the only memory I want of him. It's like so I can laugh.
Still cracks me up.
They should give Jason Jordan this gimmick and then give Patrick Clark Jason Jordan's gimmick.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Oh, good Lord.
Imagine if that was Kurt's son.
that would be some shit right there.
So then we had Andrade Cien against Roderick Strong, with the finish being Selena Vegas hits Roderick on the outside with a Hurricane Rana into the steps, and Ramos gets back into the ring for the Hammerlock DDT. And yeah, something else. I'm really surprised that we have Roderick losing already, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you forgot the Undisputed Era came out and gave him an armband and told him to think about it.
Yeah. They did come out and they offered him the armband, which we know is they're trying to set up. I told you guys from the beginning that they should be doing something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that leads us into week number 2 that we got to catch up on, the November 1st, episode 418.
Yeah, just to clarify, he accepts the wristband, but he doesn't put it on. And then that brings us to the current episode, which opens with... What was that?
You said, I was say, do you mind if I...
No, go right ahead.
We opened up with the Tanara Kanji, as Marinala was calling her, versus Nikki Cross. Cross ends up going over with the Fisherman's Neckbreaker. It was basically a squash match. Very, it was quick, over less than 5 minutes.
Which is stupid because they put this girl over as being a black belt and a jiu-jitsu master, and then Nikki Cross charges her and then beats the hell out of her while she's running and screaming around the ring. You know, and Cross being a black belt is just crazy. I don't know. I just don't really get it. I don't know what they're doing with that.
Then we had a backstage interview with Mercedes Martinez, and she states Ember Moon will not win the match at the NXT, the four-way match for the women's belt. Then my favorite match tonight was that Fabian Eichner versus Gargano.
Yeah, finish being Eichner upsets Gargano, countering Gargano
escape.
Yeah, Gargano's escape into the cover, and it was good. I like the technical aspects of it. Eichner doesn't need a gimmick or something. He's agile and he's athletic, and but he's very generic.
Yeah. I mean, I liked him bouncing around the rings, like springboarding from rope to rope was pretty cool.
The spot of Eichner catching Gargano out of the air happened too many times. Like, I get it. He can catch him if he comes off the ropes, but like, it was just like, all right, that's the spot that usually should happen once.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. It kind of got a little old.
But I do like Eichner's pop-up tilt-the-world backbreaker.
Yes.
That was really solid.
And it was hard to believe he was in a Cruiserweight Classic, isn't it? As big as he is.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's something else.
Yeah, and then we had the Street Profits admiring Tino Sabatelli in Riddick Moss's car, and they're getting into it. He's like telling the Street Profits, you got fake gold around your neck. It's going to turn your skin green. You don't know nothing about cars. Just step away, and they just walk off. Stupid segment. Yeah. But do they share a car? This is our car. Like, do they share it?
Yeah, we had Drew McIntyre.
I guess so.
Drew McIntyre getting the Pearl Harbor ass whipping from Andrade, where he gets ambushed at the top of the steps, beats him up, even slams the title down on him.
Then he signs a contract, takes Salita's gum, and then sticks it to on the contract, and then slaps it on Drew.
That was kind of nasty.
Yeah.
The Aussies get caught talking shit about Kairi Sane, and then she warns them with her elbow.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was pretty funny.
She comes sailing across and is like, oh yeah, I'll fuck you up. And she will. And then heads out.
We had the main event with Sanity versus AOP.
Mm-hmm.
With the match getting broken up. AOP hit the Super Collider in the last chapter. Then everybody got jumped by Cole, O'Reilly, and Fish. And the match got thrown out.
Yeah, Roderick Strong comes out with the undisputed armband, and he puts it on, but when it's time to beat up the AOP guy, he turns around and it's a ruse, and then Roderick throws the armband up the ramp at them, and then Regal announces War Games, which would be cool if the tapings weren't so far behind. And yeah, that was it. One of the AOP guys giving Wolf a Death Valley driver in the corner was my favorite spot of this match.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good.
I like Wolf, man. He's got some strength. He just hit that German suplex on the dude.
Yeah.
I never remember which one is which of these guys. They look too much alike, and they dress, the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then we get Ring of Honor, also 2 weeks behind. First match is Marty Scurll against Jay White. Finish being Marty throws Jay White his umbrella. When he catches it and the ref takes it, when the ref's throwing it out, he low blows him and then winds up covering him. And good moves. I like Jay's flatliner German suplex combo. White going for the German, and then Marty grabbing the tag rope to avoid it, and then Paul Turner having to kick the rope out of his hand to free him. We had Wolf Ferrara and Red Titus, aka the Dogs, with a W versus the Tempura Boys, with the finish being Red and Ferrara went over. I don't remember what the hell was the move that they used in this.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was called Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh my god.
It was so stupid.
The one I probably banished it from my memory.
Yeah, whatever. And we had Shane Taylor against Punishment Martinez against Mark Briscoe against Chuck Taylor, with the finish being Mark hits Chuck Taylor with his Death Valley driver Froggy Bowl, and Martinez is laid out across the top turnbuckle onto Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, it was pretty cool where he stepped across him.
Yeah, and then after the match, Jay comes out. Jay wants to know if his last name is still Briscoe and if they're still a tag team, or if he's going to keep doing this single shit. And yeah, that was pretty much it. It's like all of the people come out, all of security, like if the two brothers are going to fight, but nothing really happens there. Martinez hit Mark Briscoe what I want to call a release Falcon Arrow that looked really good. And also Chuck Taylor's exploder suplex on Martinez into Mark in the corner. Very solid stuff. Very good episode.
Martinez doing the dive where he steps on the rope and then goes over is pretty cool.
Yeah, that step over
somebody
senton.
That big. Yeah,
that step over senton is gorgeous. Move. Very, very solid. And that brings us up to date with the October 29th episode. Cody Rhodes joining the commentary table. First match being TKO Ryan with the Kingdom against Jonathan Gresham. Finish being the Kingdom pulls TKO out of the ring when Gresham is about to go over him. And then the three of them jump in, getting the match thrown out, and then Motor City comes out for the save.
Yep.
And TKO Ryan, I don't know, man. These guys, he looks like a savior.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
And then it doesn't help that these guys...
Horse.
Yeah, the sassy wild horse, which I hate that fucking name.
Yeah, the dirty-ass looking horse. He looks like one of the horses at Coney Island and shits in the street. But anyway, but yeah, these guys... Oh god, God, these guys pull out a fucking axe at ringside. Like they put like a hatchet, right?
Yeah, that's like
Yeah. Vinny carries on a fucking hatchet, and Cody says he's got a freaking hatchet. What the hell, man?
Like, what are you doing?
Like he should be suspended. There's 4 of them out there. There's 3 of them in the hatchet.
Yeah, there's lots of interference from these fucking axe murderers until the Motor City Machine Guns show up.
Yeah, and then they all get thrown out.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we had Scorpio Sky against Cody Rhodes, with the finish being the eye rake into the American Deathlock. And Scorpio looks good in the ring. You know, I do like Cody using the LaBelle lock and then the yes chants, calling out Daniel Bryan more or less.
Yeah,
and,
I like Scorpio hitting that jumping avalanche Rana, then an over the top rope senton. Yeah,
question. Where does Cody put the ring? Because you notice he takes the ring and looks like he puts them in his pants.
Yeah, I think he might, I know I used to have like a couple of bathing suits I had when I was younger, had like little pockets there where you could put stuff. So I'm wondering if his tights have that, like little
Yeah, he probably has like a little pocket in his tights or something.
All right, cool. Because I got worried when it first happened. I was like, did he just turn into the cock ring of honor? Because it was just like,
dude, how funny did that? Like that he walked out and the fans are kissing his ring. I was sitting there in commentary. The girl grabs his hand. He's like, "Go ahead,
dude." I was so distracted. I was so distracted about when he put in his pants because I kept thinking, like, did he like? They can't just be free down there, right? Like, how much would it suck you afterwards? You see him put it back on, then he leaves with everyone kissing the ring.
Oh yeah,
there better be a pocket.
You better put some fucking Purell on that shit before you make somebody kiss it.
Purell or not, there better be a fucking pocket. Now that you mention it, the hell is going on here? And then we had the Addiction against Kushida and Jay Lethal, with the finish being Kushida taps out Daniels with the armbar lock.
Yeah.
And this match wasn't even going to happen because Daniels and Kaz early on tried to leave and take a count out, but wind up taking the dive from Kushida. And Kushida, being really interesting in this match, he starts doing Curryman taunts at Kaz.
That was funny as hell.
That was great.
He even goes as far as to stand on top of Daniels and then do the Curryman dance on his body.
That was great.
And then points over at him. It's like, it was nuts. But
Did
yeah.
you see that one spot, that handspring that Kaz, I think it was kind of a botch where it was supposed to be like, I guess he was supposed to catch him up top, but he caught him low.
Oh, did he?
And he hit him with like that mini electric chair drop from like his knees or something.
Oh yeah, I thought that was intentional though. That backdrop that from Jay Lethal on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, when Lethal went for that lethal injection and they counted it into the powerbomb neckbreaker combo, it was nice.
Yes, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So much good wrestling, man. So much interesting stuff going on.
Yep.
But hopefully we don't kill the momentum because...
Yay.
All right. Did they even wrestle in this show today, or did people just come out? Sometimes I can't even tell.
Yeah, it was a little bit of both.
Sometimes I honestly feel like they just don't care that much about the wrestling. You know, God forbid.
Yep.
So, they're in Manchester, in England. So basically that means that this was a bit of a pre-tape, or it's on delay. I know, Scott, earlier you said that it's taped, and I said, no, Paige was taped. This is on delay.
Re-recorded.
It sounds better for a channel if it's on delay.
Yeah.
So the first segment is Miz TV, with Miz calling out Baron Corbin. He calls him the bathroom break of SmackDown.
That was funny.
That was great.
Yeah. And then he goes on to quote some of the things that Baron Corbin said in the audio that we played here. I find that funny because they didn't really show too much of that audio, so unless people are looking for it. It's sort of like a I guess an internal feud.
Yeah.
So Kurt Angle comes out and he says that Raw is the best and the SmackDown is the B show, and Miz accuses him of trying to sabotage the Miztourage, making him stay late last episode and taking the ass beating and everything. And he shows Curtis Axel in the neck breaks with the sad face. And funniest part of the segment was he does the whole "when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut" on Kurt, of all people. And then Kurt starts to lose his shit. And Miz is like, sort of apologized, like, calm down. You know, no need to get angry.
Okay.
But Kurt makes a match with Miz against Strowman.
Yeah, he said he had to promise Strowman. He got Strowman to join up by promising him a match with The Miz. That's how he got him on the Survivor Series team.
Mm-hmm.
And then we open up with everybody's favorite match.
Is it everybody's favorite match?
God.
It was Walk with Elias segment where he's mourning his dead guitar, and then the fans ask for Wonderwall. Now, the reason why the fans are asking for Wonderwall, for those of you that don't realize it, is because Elias, Bo Dallas, and the club have been singing Wonderwall at the house shows out there. I don't know if you guys know about that. Like the four of them have been
I saw the clip.
Getting in the
Something
ring
like that. But he refused to do it in favor of an Elias original.
These guys are nuts.
Better than the original.
Yeah, I'm sure. So then fans on Twitter started calling Anderson a sellout and telling them they need to go back to Japan and get out of the contract. And then Anderson says, define sellout. Just entertain thousands of fans all over Europe, and Tuesday get to go home to my family. I win. #nerd. So those rumors people heard about them leaving, apparently they're not true. They seem to still be here.
Yep.
So Jason Jordan interrupts the song. And then that leads to the Jason Jordan versus Elias guitar on a pole match with the finish. What was the first guitar on a pole match? Was it X-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett?
I think so.
I think
so, yeah.
I feel like that's a match that happened. Sometimes I can't tell if it's a match that...
said.
Yeah, probably is. Damn, that makes me feel old. That was 20 years ago. Fuck. What the hell?
They said, yeah.
God, makes me feel old as hell.
I remember that match. But anyway, the finish is Jason Jordan hits Elias with a nasty belly to belly, and then when he's recovering, he thwacks him with the guitar.
That was a loud thwack, man.
Yeah,
it was.
Get him
crap.
for the last irresponsible shot he hit him with.
Yeah.
That's the main reason to do it. And the match overall was good. You know, Elias was bleeding from the mouth. Not sure exactly what bump he took for that to happen. But it was, it was your typical stuff though. Like Elias gets the guitar, Jordan immediately delivers a kick to his gut, then he gets the guitar. They do the whole chasing Elias out of the ring, doing the old heel tactic of sliding in the ring, waiting for JJ, and then stomping him as he slides in. You know the old bullshit.
Yep.
We had Asuka versus Stacy. What's her name? Stacy Coates? Was it?
Yes.
Yep, Stacy Coates.
Yeah. And finish was she does like a bubble bomb into an Asuka lock.
Yep. And before that, we had the him making the match with the Bar versus Rollins and Ambrose.
Yeah, they're just making matches. But yeah, the crowd was once again dead for this Asuka match, which not a good sign. I haven't seen a crowd really react to her the way that I think they were hoping yet. This is starting to remind me a lot of TJ Perkins when he first came off of the CWC. Like, she's not getting that big. Go back and watch that crowd.
No, they were dead.
Yeah, they were dead.
That's actually a really good comparison. You're right. The crowd just doesn't give a fuck. Maybe it's just most of them have already seen what she's got to offer on NXT and know what it's all about. I don't know. They don't seem to give a shit.
They were popping for everything else. It's a problem.
And it's weird that an overseas crowd is dead like that. They're usually going crazy for everything.
Well, no, I don't blame them. I told you guys from the beginning that they made mistakes with Asuka. You can't, Asuka's launch in a lot of ways reminds me of Emma's launch. Like, you can't have a soft launch like that where it's like a lukewarm launch for a big name or for someone that's being pulled up. It's a death sentence. I didn't think this was going to work out any better than the Nakamura stuff.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, an overseas crowd is usually popping for everything. And if they're dead, there's something wrong.
Yeah, it sucks. Definitely sucks. I really hope that she's all right for this. And Fox announces Asuka as a member of Team Raw. And then Titus is coming out for his match, but then Joe winds up basically taking him out ahead of time, putting him in the rear naked choke, coquina clutch. And then he shoots a promo, and out comes Finn Balor, leading to Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe, with the finish being that the match ends in a countout when Joe whips Balor up the ramp. They fight at the top of the ramp, and then that's when what happens is what I like to call the All the King's Horses and All the King's Men segment, where no one can break them up, and it takes a whole fucking army of people running from the back, and then more people in different color shirts come. Then they get the 5 stars like in Grand Theft Auto, and then finally people start coming out like what we know, like names that we know, like Finley's and all of those, the Jamie Nobles. They did that. They did the whole All the King's Horses and All King's Men. So that means that they're really invested in this shit. And Kurt Angle, in the midst of all this, likes how much they're kicking each other's asses so much that he puts them both on Team Raw. And then that doesn't faze Balor, because right after that, he does this crazy dive off the stage, and he still winds up attacking Joe even more, because he has tunnel vision right now. And then leading to the team, Kurt Angle chooses his sweet old son as the last member of Team Raw backstage.
So how do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really get it. It's not the best team right now, but I mean, the Smackdown team, I feel like all the teams are a little bit lackluster this year.
I mean, I like Kurt, Strowman, Joe, and Balor on the team. One thing, Kurt's like, I need someone I can trust and blah, 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 this and that. What if this is Jordan's heel turn on him? Like we discussed, if this was going somewhere, what if this is where he turns on him?
May as well be.
Yeah, fuck it.
Team Smackdown, that's where I came from. That's where my roots are. I was hoping they were going to do Jordan versus Gable after the way they attacked him when the invasion.
Give him a leather jacket and a steak knife. We can call him Steak Knife.
There you go.
They got Switchblade. What's his name? Right, became Switchblade over there. We got Steak Knife.
Jay White.
Jay White is Switchblade. We got Steak Knife.
Steak knife.
If this is PG, it'd be butter knife.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be the little short butter knife.
Switchblade is cool, but we got Steak Knife for the unplanned kills.
He's cornered the cob holder.
Why not, right? Why not? Oh, so what was next on this?
Nia and Fox versus Bayley and Sasha.
Yes, you are correct. Nia and Fox, Bayley and Sasha, with the finish being Sasha counters Fox's roll up into a bank statement. And also kudos to Bayley for getting Nia Jax over that top rope, and kudos to Nia for the bump.
Well, actually, I think Sasha threw her over with the leg.
Yeah. And then after the match, Fox recruits Sasha and Bayley for her team.
No, just Sasha.
No, just Sasha.
Just Sasha.
Oh, really? I thought
because Bayley was like, "What the hell? Why didn't she pick me too?"
But there's still one more spot, so who knows what they're going to do with that? Maybe Bayley will have to prove herself next week or whatever.
I thought she wanted both of them. Wow, wait, what a way to shit on the Bayley character too.
Considering too, they also reminded me on the show tonight that Bayley was the captain last year.
Yeah,
really?
What was she?
Yeah.
Was she on the main roster already last year?
Yeah,
she was. Mm-hmm.
Wow, they wasted these girls for longer than I realized. Shit, right?
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Miz versus Strowman.
Yeah, but before we get to, I don't know if you guys heard, but Nia made a statement about why she was gone, and I feel the statement was very vague. She said, I had live events off for the last couple of weeks because that's just how it worked out for cycling and stuff. So I got a little rest from TV because I wasn't in anything storyline wise. So I had a little rest there. But yeah, it's been great. I love what we do. I love the storytelling, especially being such a different character and obviously a different size than everybody. We get to play on that, and it's always cool to see where we can go in the ring. That's almost not an answer to me. That's like a non-answer.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
That's the PC answer.
Very PC. And then, yes, we have The Miz against Braun Strowman. And unfortunately, I'm hearing rumors that Strowman's the next person to go for the Miz's IC title. I hope that's just rumors. Because, I don't know. They don't seem to know exactly what they want to do. Because we're also hearing that the reason why Kane went over Balor with the 3 choke slams that you mentioned earlier is because they want to build Kane up as an unstoppable monster so that Strowman can basically stop him.
Right.
So,
but yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to do something with the IC title if Maurice is pregnant, because they're gonna have to get it off of him so he could, take his time out there with his kid and his wife.
Yeah. So then we had an Enzo promo that went on way too long.
Holy
too long.
Shit,
I don't know. Was he stalling for Kalisto? Was Kalisto taking a shit? Like, what happened?
I don't know. I guess somebody was on the can. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't know. Booker and Corey were killing me.
Where the fuck was Kalisto? Where the fuck was Kalisto? Imagine that with the Eddie Guerrero voice.
And did you hear the crowd? We want Neville.
Yeah, of course they do. Who wouldn't want Neville?
Yeah,
especially in his hometown, his home country.
And if you think the fuck up stop there with assumingly a late Kalisto, Pete Dunne's music hits too early because they're stupid and don't know how to time shit or press proper buttons in WWE.
Yeah, somebody fucked up there really bad.
Dude, like the guy's job is just to press the corresponding button. That's all he has to do.
Music.
That's
yes.
And then afterwards, you know how hard is it to press? Give me that job. I've been pressing corresponding buttons all night. What a fucking idiot that there's a person whose function is literally just to run that, and he missed that.
You had one job.
Literally, you one job. Just press the corresponding fucking button. My God. But no, he ruined it. And of course, the people who knew the music already knew who was coming out. And Kurt Angle, being the professional he is, he just went with it, you know, the best way that he possibly could. But they even fucked that up.
Yeah, and it was like such a wide shot when his music hit, you saw his name come right across the Titantron.
Yeah, they should get rid of that guy. It's like, mistakes happen, but if you have an easy job, there should be no excuse. Just hitting buttons?
Hitting the play button.
Yeah, fired.
Bye-bye.
Wow. I mean, I hit my own buttons on here, but if we ever made it to the big time to the point we had our own button hitter and he fucked that up once, I'd poison him. All you have to do is hit the fucking button. That's all you do.
Rick could be renaming files, but like, now figure that shit out. If you could get past this trap 100%, you're good to go.
All you have to do is hit the right button. So then we had that match, which was, what did they call it? The Bruiserweight versus the Cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the finish being Pete Dunne goes over Enzo, of course, with, what's the name of that strange movie does now?
It's a pump handle flatliner called The Bitter End.
Oh, right. I'm not too sure I really like the way it looks because from the certain angles, you can't really see the bump that well.
Yeah. But I love the fact that that forearm he gave him in the beginning of the match.
Beautiful.
He freaking retweeted that as a gift.
Yeah.
It was like, my gift to everybody is me hitting Enzo over and over.
That was great. That was great.
Oh man, I gotta say, you know, for this Raw, it definitely delivered. You know.
Yeah, and they said that they're going to be the UK team basically is going to be on 205 Live tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so SmackDown will be good. Like we talked about, all the stuff happening on SmackDown is going to be some big stuff. Might even see some upsets, some title changes. Who knows? But SmackDown's definitely going to be interesting. So be sure to come hang out in the chat room with us. I'm going to be there early because I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, but Pete Dunne, like, since we saw him in the UK Classic and at the end of night one where he beat the shit out of his next day opponent, he's been a favorite of mine.
Oh, I love him. He's so yeah. He's great.
My one complaint about this match, and I understand that they don't want to make Enzo look like a total scrub, but it's still strange with the size difference for Enzo, who was never able to do anything as Kaz's tag team partner, to have Pete Dunne in a vulnerable position where he's kicking him in the ribs on the ground like that. It's just, it's unreal. It's almost like if I saw Danny DeVito kicking the shit out of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins. Like yes. What? Like, what the fuck? Like, it just doesn't, I don't know. My suspension of disbelief doesn't go far enough for Enzo to kick Pete Dunne's ass. As mean as that guy's been everywhere else, you know, coming to the ring with the title in his mouth and shit. Like, and then this little guy, this little how you doing motherfucker getting kicks on him. Like, I just don't believe it.
Doesn't he have like 3 titles over there?
I don't keep up with their titles. Which ones would he have?
I think the ICW title.
Well, we know he has that one because he came out with Triple H earlier.
Yeah, and there was another one that I thought he had. I know he had a few of them. But anyway, Pete Dunne, they got to do more with these guys from England. They're too good.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
Yeah. And then we had our main event.
The main event, the upset event, Sheamus and Cesaro versus Ambrose and Rollins. What did you guys think of this?
I mean, I got spoiled because when I got home from work, my brother was like, "There's a title change on Raw. It's hot, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, dude. I was like, I saw it on my phone.
Yeah, they were already blasting it all over fucking Facebook, and I was like, skip.
I'm like, not looking at social media because I don't want to be spoiled because of it. And so I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know how it happened. I just knew they were going to lose it, but I like how it happened.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Very good execution with the New Day being the distraction that led the Raw locker room to empty out. Kurt Angle leading them up towards the steps, which is silly. It's like, if you see only 3 New Day members, why did you send so many people up that way? But the Shield allows themselves to get distracted. Rollins being in the ring and turns around into a very convincing bro kick for the finish. And this is in a really good match that had a lot of false finishes leading up to that point. So, yeah, the crowd was definitely into it. And this was, like I said, very well done. Not sure what they're doing here or why they did it. I'm not really opposed to it though. Like
I have a theory.
Remember we said Reigns is coming back next week?
Yes.
Which puts the 3 Shield members versus the 3 New Day members for Survivor
Series. Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's exactly what I was just going to call. That's exactly New Day against Shield Survivor Series. It's happening.
Because none of them were scheduled to be in matches, really.
Yeah.
What do you do? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to put them all on the card.
Yeah. I think it's a brilliant idea.
I'm down with it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it as far as Raw goes. I mean, there's a couple postings. Do you guys want to hear from Enzo, Pete Dunne, or Cesaro and Sheamus?
I'll hear from Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Pete Dunne has going on here.
Pete, tonight you debuted on Monday Night Raw in front of a huge crowd ovation in Manchester. Not only did you debut tonight, but you also picked up a huge victory against the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Enzo Amore. How do you feel?
That ovation was exactly as expected. This title means that I own the UK. And as for Enzo Amore, tonight he learned I'm not just a cruiserweight, I'm the bruiserweight.
#fact.
Yeah, he's a really good champ, that's for sure. And,
but like I said, I want more from all those guys. You know, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Wolfgang.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of talent there that could be
Mark
used.
Andrews.
well, let's see what Enzo says. Fuck it.
Enzo,
What the hell just happened? What do you know that I don't know? That was a stupid question. I've forgotten more than you'll ever know. What do you know about what just happened?
well, tonight you were unsuccessful in your attempt against your surprise opponent, the WWE United Kingdom champion, the Bruiser.
Bruiserweight? That's right. Bruiserweight, not Cruiserweight. I don't even know that kid's freaking name. What was his name?
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne. Dunne is right. Dunzo. I'll tell you what. Angle's got a conspiracy. I ain't stupid. Kalisto's in on it. But I'll tell you what. Since I introduced myself to the world like a gentleman, some of you figured people in the UK would know something about every time I step on screen. How about I get a proper introduction tomorrow on the Zoe Show to every one of these little UK schmucks? Yeah, 205 Live for idiots like you. The Zoe Show. Where the money's at. Freaking UK schmuck. Done. I can't handle it. I know there's something going on. You're probably in on it.
You know, I'm surprised they really let him get away with saying schmuck all the time. Considering, you know what it means, right?
No, not really. I never thought about it.
It means dick. It's like Jewish for dick.
Oh, I had no idea.
I did not know that.
I thought it meant like goof or dummy or...
No, it means you're a dick. You're a schmuck.
Is dick,
schmuck.
Is schmuck really the word for dick?
Yeah. It's like their slang for dick.
Someone in the chat room get confirmation. I've never heard that before. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a new one to me.
And lastly, we'll hear from the new tag team champs here.
Sheamus, Cesaro, congratulations on the huge victory tonight. Amongst all the chaos, you guys managed to become the 3-time Raw Tag Team Champions.
That's right, Romo. 3-time Raw Tag Team Champions. And not only are we 3-time Raw Tag Champions, but think of the teams we have beaten along the way. Number 1, the longest reigning Tag Team Champions in the history of the WWE, the New Day.
Number 2, the legendary Team Extreme, the Hardy Boys.
The Fearless Shield.
What's next for Sheamus and Cesaro? I tell you what's next. Survivor Series.
That's right, Mike. It's us and the Usos. Uso crazy and Uso penitentiary. We don't give a damn, fella.
Let me tell you, the Uso penitentiary can't hold us because we don't just break bars. We are the bar!
Cesaro sounds so odd with that talking with the mouthpiece in all the time.
Yeah, take it out, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah. And it's schmuck is from the Yiddish word schmuck, which means penis. So it's just conformed from it. It just means an obnoxious or contemptible person.
A conformed penis.
Yes.
Conformed penis.
All right.
So basically, yeah, that's where it comes from.
Fair enough.
So, well, phrasing.
All right. So anything else before we wrap up here?
Two quick New Japan notes. The Young Bucks have a new finisher.
What's it called?
Yes, called the Cease and Desist.
Oh.
And what is it?
It's basically a sharpshooter and then into a crossface.
Nice. What's
like
the other
it.
one?
The other one is I guess it was when they were doing like the interviews and stuff at the end of the main event. Ibushi was back there, answering some questions, and Cody approached him and basically kind of mockingly asked him, I don't have an opponent for Wrestle Kingdom and you don't have an opponent for Wrestle Kingdom. So how about we face each other for my title to where you have to kiss the ring?
All right. Well, don't forget next week, we're going to have polls, 3 voting polls, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, NXT TakeOver War Games, and Survivor Series. So, it's going to be our anniversary and all that other stuff. And don't forget tomorrow, game night, all that fun stuff. But that being said, thank you. Thank you, all of you, for coming to this. It's been fantastic, as always. All of you nocturnal night creatures like us, AC and Living Legend, and Hacksaw Lou Reed, EB Gamer, Lonshell, Jordan Worth Cobb, Christopher, Miss Marnie, WRF1, a.k.a. William Robbles, Destin Frazier, and Mr. Wombat. Thank you all.
Over in the 2K18 vodcast room, thank you to Moneyman907 AK, Same Old Mikey, Hero DB, Queasy Feeling, Death Magnetic 78, Demo 0001, Birdman AR, D Money 0816. Thank you for hanging out tonight, and the follows, fellas and gals. Thank you.
Yes, thank you everyone. Also all of you listening across all of the platforms such as SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Talk Brunch, episode 213. I am your host, as always, Rick Dyer, a.k.a. Captain Brunch. For Scott, for Jen, for Miss Bianca, we are out of here.
Goodbye and good night.
Later, all.
Good night, everyone.